Right, everybody, we're live.
Hey.
You just did that so quick.
What?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I swallowed that last piece of crust.
So we started a couple minutes late today because we ordered pizza a long time ago and it showed up like 8 o'clock on the dot. So we're like, we got to get the door, got to get the pizza.
Yeah, we normally order at like 6:45 and like the pizza shows up like 7:15 and we eat. But it was like rainy and crappy out today, so the pizza came out at like 8.
And pizza time.
We decided we'd eat it on the show. What episode is this? 17?
17.
17, our season.
17. Thank you everyone for joining us
Thanks
on the season
for joining
finale.
us. Season finale.
We had a good run.
Mm-hmm.
Will continue
Absolutely.
to happen. Let's see who we got in the chat.
Invite your friends. Everyone come in.
Chad Petrovsky, shout out Stephen Fim. Abdiel's in the house.
Oh.
Nick Peltier. All right, we got a bunch of people in here. Cool. Thank you everyone for joining us.
Mm-hmm.
We got a very exciting show today. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we got to... This episode, we figured instead of having like our traditional guest episode, since we do like a recap of everything on the season and go through like highlights of like everyone we had from our first guest to our last guest.
Some of our favorite moments. Maybe you might have missed something. Who knows?
Yeah.
You're about to find out.
Maybe you didn't catch an episode and you see like a highlight, then you want to go catch the whole thing.
Yeah, there you
Who
go.
knows?
But tell everyone to join us. We are on the air now live. Jimmy Smith, what's up? We got to start off. We'll kick it off with let's thank our Patreons first. We should have shouted out everyone from this season, but
yeah.
New patrons, Louis Devereaux and Grayson Seffer. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And thank you. Shout out to all of our other patrons so far. Thank you for supporting us this whole season.
Yeah, we appreciate it very much. And as always, we have our iTunes review of the week. If you don't already, please go follow us on iTunes. Give us a 5-star. No, you don't follow us. Give us a 5-star rating.
Yeah,
give us
follow.
a comment. You can follow us. Okay, cool. Give us a follow.
Subscribe.
And this week's iTunes review of the week comes from Brian Daniele, and he says, "Love the podcast and the East Coast vibe it has. Austin and Billy do a great job at bringing the history of the sport and respect for the OGs into every podcast. I grew up in New Jersey skating in the 90s, and this podcast has brought back so many great memories from my childhood. I actually have reconnected with some old skating buddies because of you guys. Thank you for putting in all your hard work." Brian, thank you very much. We appreciate it. And it's cool that, I think a lot of people on this show talked about how they have kind of
rekindle their interest.
Yeah.
I was about to say the same thing, too. So many people have hit us up.
We've got a lot of good messages.
Yeah, so many people hit us up, and they're like, I started skating again because of the podcast. Or, I started reconnecting with other people. Yeah. Whether it may be, with friends or just by themselves skating around, which is really cool. And
it's amazing because it's just like,
rejuvenating the industry.
Especially if it's something you've done when you were a kid. It's just like that link to that part of your former self that is just like, you're skating and you're just like, oh, those old feelings, those old good feelings.
Well, when you take a break for a while too, you're like, I need I need something fresh again in my life or whatever it may be. Yeah. And you forget how like fun skating was, and you put your skates on again for the first time after like dealing with like your family, your work, your job, whatever it may be, and you're like, oh yes, whatever, quit. Yeah, well, it seems like, I don't know about everyone else, but it seems like for me, like the older you get and the more responsibility you take on, the less and less time you have for these things, right? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a given, but, because blading was such a big part of my life that was, like, interconnected with, like, the work I'd been doing
was for our whole lives for the most part growing up.
Right? So I think because, like, those everyday things and your priorities switch, you start getting into those kind of things and realizing that you have to set that up, and you could often forget those important little things that you need to do for your soul, as Miguel would say. So
very Miguelish.
Very, very Miguelish, bro. But yeah.
Oh, for anyone who's wondering, we don't have our usual grandma slices right now. We are eating pepperoni slices right now. We got them last time when like Ortega was on or something like that, and we were surprised at how good they were. So we have pepperonis right now. So guys, we do have a grandma pie in the kitchen now. And we still do have the grandma pie.
Yeah, if you're curious.
Yeah, the girls are eating the grandma.
If there was any interest at all.
Corey likes the grandma slices.
We have as always, WTF of the week.
Let me, I have to load this up real quick. But yep, WTF of the week. We have coming to you from Woodward East. It's Jimmy Hake.
Jimmy Hake.
Posted by Cameron Carr. Let me make sure this works. We got the back fast slide, toe slide thingy, I guess.
Is that like a toe slide, like a mono 1 foot toe slide?
Yeah, I definitely never seen that before. Which is easy way to make it to the WTF
of the week.
Playing
right now?
Yeah, I played it already. My bad. It's too much going on. I got the pizza.
I couldn't
had to import it.
Okay, I'm going to give the pizza a rest for a second because we don't want to be too sloppy on the show. But
I know.
You're normally I see it up here, so.
Yeah.
But
I can play it again. Fuck it.
Yeah, do you want to see it? I kind of want to check it out.
Boom.
Oh, there we go.
That's full on rubber. As Gav would say, full on rubber.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. That was cool. Sick. I never seen that before.
Very cool. Shout out Jimmy Hake. He's been around forever.
Yeah, killing the Cloud 9 Mini.
Forever.
If you haven't, if you don't follow him on like Instagram, him, Cameron, and Richie Velasquez, they all do like their Cloud 9 sessions like weekly. And I think Richie,
I didn't even know that.
Richie goes live, maybe not every week, but pretty often he goes live, maybe like every other week or something like that. And they all session. Yeah, it's cool. They do like some fun little things here and there, and they live stream it on the Cloud 9 Mini.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Sick.
Well, shout out Jimmy Hake. And
follow those guys. And
shout out the boys, Cameron and Richie.
The boys.
The boys.
All right. We have, just wanted to, for everyone in the New York, New Jersey, tri-state area, we have Bashi Pope fundraisers coming up.
Yeah.
The one I'll talk about, you got the other one.
Mm-hmm.
We have at 50/50 Skate Park on Staten Island, next Saturday, the 29th, we have it's just a fundraiser session, I guess. I don't really know the exact details on it. But it's 5 p.m. next Saturday, and everyone's going to skate the park and help raise funds for Bashi.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also another event going on that you know more about.
Right. Okay, so there's the Bashi fundraiser, the 50/50 Skate Park one.
Yeah.
Which is being thrown by Ghetto Community and being sponsored by Razors and Jump Street Podcast.
Yeah, I see Roller Warehouse, Rain,
Roller
Butter
Warehouse,
TV,
Rain, I Roll New York.
And Oak City.
Yep, Oak City. So, yeah, all these guys are pretty much supporting this event. It's a fundraiser for Bashi Pope. We're going to have a mini contest there. And as you know, it's like really hard to like get a good session going on in this time of the year in the tri-state area. Mm-hmm. So like it's really good to go to the skate park. So Saturday, December 29th, 2018. That's this year. And it's at 5 p.m. But previous to the day before that, we're having a party at the Soho Playhouse, which is also another Bashi Pope fundraiser organized by Ray Mendez and a few other people, myself.
Straight up party, right?
Right. No skating. It's a 175 seat theater, and we're going to be like it's a party with an open bar. It's 420.
That's sick.
It's 420 friendly as well. If anyone wanted to know. But yeah, it's a big plus. It's at the Soho Playhouse, aka the Huron Club. It's on 15 Van Dam Street. I'm going to be putting out a flyer like sometime this week, like via Jump Street and via my Instagram. New York. It's a 175 seat theater. Like I said,
there's a lot of people there.
Yeah, full bar, and we're gonna be like, we're trying to come up with good ideas for what we're gonna like have at the theater, like playing and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So if anyone has any suggestions, put it forth. But it's probably gonna be like some like Bashi Pope section, small stuff. And yeah, we're gonna be. It's just a fundraiser to support a guy who gave us 3 New York City events every summer that everyone enjoyed. Ton of people came out to. I know everyone in the city enjoyed those events, and I know the people who came to them who had maybe their first or like second or third New York experience, they had a great time. So we're gonna keep that going every year, but at this moment, Bashi needs our help. So we would appreciate anyone who enjoyed those events or enjoyed any of those things, if they're in the New York area or to come to these things.
Yeah,
really
it's gonna be a fun weekend.
Absolutely, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be good. Like right after Christmas, in between Christmas and New Year's,
Yeah,
it's like a good little. You get the family on Christmas, and then you get a little party, Bashi fundraiser, see all the homies, and then New Year's, whatever.
Don't get too sloppy on Friday, though. You got to skate Saturday.
That's right.
50/50, so don't get too sloppy.
Don't get too sloppy. But you know what? It starts at 5 p.m., so you can get a little bit of a hangover.
You got to clean up, though.
You got to clean up. You got to pull it together by 5.
I also wanted to mention we have, courtesy of Chris Parks, there's a GoFundMe for Seth Miner. So Seth Miner's a skater. He was big in like the 2000s.
Yeah.
For some people might not know.
There's a pretty well-known guy from the early 2000s, right?
Yeah, something like that. He was all like Daily Breads and
great sweat
videos
stands.
And stuff. Yeah. That I should have uploaded that picture that's going around. The GoFundMe, that's sweaty with like, the rims on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I'll read from his GoFundMe real quick. Seth Miner is an awesome dad, husband, friend, and just an all-around great human being. When rollerblading was at its prime in the early 2000s, so was he. People still talk about how good his style was, and that's true because last week.
Yeah,
Gav, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, Gav was talking about him. How good his style was and his sections in old school videos. After a long time away from blading, he's now getting back on skates as often as he can and getting healthy. A mutual friend put us in contact with Seth, who's looking for a pair of skates, and someone who had always admired his skating It's been an honor to be his friend and be a part of his return to the Blade family. Which brings us to this past Sunday morning skate session where Seth broke both his tibia and fibula, the lower leg bones below the kneecap in his left leg.
Oof.
Multiple hours of surgery were required and a few days in the hospital. That's terrible.
Yeah.
With limited insurance, loss of income for the family, the ambulance ride, surgery, and a few days in the hospital, the family is in need of help, any help they can get. Anything you can contribute will go directly towards paying his medical bills and ongoing recovery costs. Being that this happened so recently, we don't know what the exact cost will be. I've set a goal. Well, this is him speaking, Chris Parker. I've set a goal based on the average cost for this type of injury and will adjust it as information becomes available. Thank you so much. Anything you can do to help.
Yeah, and that's a pretty big deal because I don't like to a lot of our listeners who are like not in the States, like maybe Canada or like, you know, overseas or something like that. If you don't have insurance and you have something like that, it can wipe you out in America. And also, like, if you have a family in Chile,
we're fucked in America with
that.
It
could just wipe you out if you
it's
don't.
It's not like Europe or Canada or any other places.
So if anything you can do to help Seth would be, you know, very much appreciated.
Yeah, I know it's the holidays, but a little bit. Yeah, whatever you could do.
Whatever you can do. Yeah. So also there's nominations for BMAG and One Magazine, right?
For the 2018 awards, we're nominated for both. So
I didn't see the BMAG one, but I did see the One Magazine one.
Yeah. So the BMAG one we're nominated for. I'm pretty sure it's just best podcast. Yeah. Whatever. And One Blade Mag, it was the category was best voice of 2018. So
wow,
we're both on those.
That's nice.
If you haven't voted already, go ahead and vote.
Yeah.
And vote for everyone else. There's a lot of great categories in both those awards. I don't know when they're going to be announced, but everyone should just be involved in shit like this anyway.
Agree.
Moving on.
We're hosting Winterclash.
Woo!
Ow! And so, yeah.
You kind of spilled the beans a few weeks ago, but we didn't get to details.
Right.
So now that it's announced, we could finally talk about it. It's the Friday night of Winterclash at the movies with Alex Broscow. So it'll be us and Alex on stage, just pretty much talking. We're going to watch 10 of his sections from over the past however many years he's been making sections. 10?
We're watching 10?
Watching 10.
Are they already picked out, or do we get to pick them out?
They're probably picked out already.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
From like his beginning sections in like the 90s.
Wow.
When he was a kid.
I wonder how that's going to be for Alex, because if that was like me, like a bunch of my parts, I'd be like,
I remember watching his beginning
Alex
stuff
is cool.
too. He's got a lot of really cool shit out there. Like shit that in the 90s that it's just like, how were you doing that back then?
Oh, that's going to be fun to go through all that.
So we're going to be up there on stage with him, just chatting it up, talking about his skating in the past and stuff like that. So if you're going to be at Winterclash, or if you're not going to be in Winterclash, make sure you're there.
A ton of people are coming out this year. It's going to be like, you know, like the Blade Cup, I think this past year had so many people. It seems like the Winterclash are shaping up to do the same thing.
Winterclash has always been just huge in general.
I think the last one I was at was in 2008.
Was it the one that I was at too?
2008,
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
It was in Germany still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was still crazy.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was at one in Eindhoven, right? And since
so you have been at the same park,
but it was like 2010. Yeah, same park.
Oh, okay, so you've been there.
I have.
Okay,
I forgot that. Anyway, it's been a while.
It has been a while. I can tell. If you haven't already, follow us on Instagram. Yeah. Subscribe to us on YouTube.
We got over 2,000 subscribers now.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Which is a big deal.
We passed in our first season. We passed 2,000 on YouTube. We're very close to 5,000 followers on Instagram. We're like 30 away or something like that.
Yeah.
We got our 150 reviews on iTunes.
That's awesome.
We're at like 163 or something like that.
So keep passing it on. Keep sharing.
Yeah, we're only going up from here.
Going up.
But we appreciate all the followers and everyone who tunes in every week. Thank you guys so much.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we get into like what we're like looking back on the season, whatever.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna start off at season 2, which is like our
episode 2.
Episode 2, which is like our first episode with a guest. But like we just started this. Like we didn't announce that we were doing it.
Yeah.
If everyone remembers, we just like said that we were going live one day. Yeah. And we just like wung it and did whatever.
Yeah.
But like we kind of did it and had almost zero plans for it. We're just like, let's try to do something and see what happens. If people like it, we'll keep doing it. If not, we like did something crazy and gave it a shot, I guess. But it worked out. And like even that day of, we were like going to like Party City to try to like get like a set, like get like a tablecloth or something like that. I don't know if you remember that. It was fun.
No.
You went and got like
the whole beginning phase is so.
You came here and you got like, you walked down the block to get bricks for like a table that we had set up. Remember that?
Yes, I do remember that because we needed like to have like another end of the table for the Kelsos, but it wasn't level with the table we had, so it sat low. So I was like, we need to prop it up on something. And I couldn't find anything in the house, so I went outside. It was summertime, and I found some bricks by a construction site, and I brought them up and I put the bricks under the table, and that's what we used.
So it was very guerrilla status in the
So it was
very
guerrilla status, totally.
But it was cool that we had like no idea what we were doing. We never did anything like this before. And I guess Blading hasn't really seen anything like this before, so it's nice to grow with everybody at the same time and kind of figure this whole thing out together.
Totally.
Which is why we're happy to kind of take this little break to now that season 1 has passed and we kind of experienced a lot of the stuff. Yeah, we're more organized, better planned. So we want to make sure that we have everything set up so season 2 could come and all our ideas could be fresh.
Right.
And it's more planned properly and all this stuff. Yeah. So we're happy to take this little hiatus after this episode, and we're gonna come at you season 2 hotter than ever.
Yeah, I agree. Wow, that was really well put.
Yeah,
and it's crazy to see like how far it's come from like such an idea, like because we were just like, oh, I mean, we should do this.
Did you look back at episode 1 when you were looking back at the episodes? I peeked at it.
I didn't.
I peeked at it. I was like, holy shit! Like it was just and it was only like a few months ago, and obviously not much has changed since then. But it was just like.
It seems so long ago. Right?
Yeah. It was just so funny to like go back and like we really were just like, what the fuck are we doing?
Right. Oh yeah, no, totally.
And it was just us two, so we were just shooting the shit.
Yeah. I think in the beginning too, because we were like, and we're still trying to figure it. Obviously, getting better, like, and learning more every day. Not only on this episode, but I mean, just generally. But I mean, that we would maybe get excited and like kind of talk to keep the conversation going. I think maybe we might have like. I don't know. We got some criticism of cutting off our guests, and I was like,
"Oh yeah, well, you definitely."
I was certainly guilty of that.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So
it seems to be a common mistake.
It'll be interesting.
Podcasts.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to take a look back at the first one after everything.
Yeah. It's funny. I was like it's like one of those things. I was too embarrassed to watch the whole thing, but I just like scrubbed through like certain parts of it.
Yeah.
Because we had to review all the episodes before we did the show, and it was interesting to watch.
Yeah.
You should check it out.
And it's just, we just want to thank everyone for like, the support and like being really well received with everyone, because, and all of our guests too, because, especially like, well, actually not especially anything, but like, but those first guests that like, kind of didn't even know what they were walking into.
Of course. Yeah.
Like, especially like the Kelsos, like they took like a big like risk, and everything, driving up and doing all this. So just to have that kind of support that can get the ball rolling, to get the momentum going.
Yeah, we appreciate that definitely.
Yeah, that was big. So I really appreciate that.
That was cool. So
and everyone, thank you who's watching, who's ever gone to Patreon.
Thank you to everybody, especially people from day one.
Anything
like,
day one,
from
left a comment, gave a 5-star review, follow us, subscribe. Like, huge thank you.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, we appreciate it very much.
Big stuff coming in the future, like I said. I know it's a little late for this. Maybe not. If you're doing some like last minute Christmas shopping, I just wanted to throughout the show bring up some like favorite products of ours, skating related.
Hey,
and just shout out maybe some products that we want to support.
Yeah,
whether it may be small things, big things, whatever it is. If you have any last minute Christmas shopping for a fellow blader, or just looking for something for yourself, maybe you got a Amex gift card or something like that. You got some money to spend it on. I'm gonna kick it off with, we've kind of talked about this before. The Dead Wheels limited edition, the marble wheels.
I have them here. Oh, by the way, we got to announce our winner.
Got a little pepperoni stuck in there. Do you want to do that now? We'll do it in the middle. We'll talk about it now, I guess.
No, well, sure. I mean,
we still got to announce the winner for the toe slide challenge, Ryan Jacqueline toe slide challenge.
There's the toe slide challenge that we had, that we extended. But Ryan Jacqueline has announced the winner for.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that winner is soon to be announced later on in the show.
Yeah, we'll announce it later.
But yeah, these Dead Wheels right here, they're marble limited edition wheels. I put them up here just because they're limited and they're super sick. So it's kind of like, get them now because you might not be able to ever get them again, type of things. And they're $35 a set. They come in like regular wheels. I think they
look awesome.
Yeah, I don't want to get the specs wrong. They're like 57s, 58s, and then the antis, same style, marble. Say your wheels are dead on them, and I think they're really cool. And of course, Dead is an awesome company to support.
Totally.
By fellow bladers and everything. So that is number one on the list. $35 a set. Pick them up while you can.
Yes.
Because they might not be around forever.
Shout out to Dead. What a good company.
Yeah. Who runs Dead exactly?
It's Adam Johnson and Chris, right?
It's just them two?
Oof.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I just opened up a bag of worms right there.
Yeah. I was like,
all right.
It's not my field.
So second product I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
This is not directly skate related, but it's my this water bottle. So everyone makes fun of me, especially you, for this hydro flask that I have.
Well, that water bottle went through a glass tape.
Oh yeah,
that's how heavy it is.
So this, if you don't have them by now, this is a hydro flask brand, but there's plenty of other companies out there. I forget what they're called, but they pretty much just keep drinks really cold for a long time, like 48 hours, or really hot for same thing, like 48 hours, whatever it is. But I'm talking about this now on a skate podcast because in the summertime when it's 90 degrees out, I fill this bad boy up with a ton of ice and water, and this shit lasts me all day, and it's ice cold all day, and
then I get like a bottle of water, and then it's like warm in like 5 minutes.
It starts boiling in 5 minutes, and everyone makes fun of me because this thing is huge, but
you get the cold water.
I drink the whole shit, and it's cold as hell, but it comes in different sizes too. So they start at $29, and they go up to this big boy here is $59, and there's different caps and stuff like that. Like I have a different cap on mine. And different colors and shit like that, so you customize them or whatever it is.
Yeah, so just go to hydroflask.com/jumpstreet and you'll get a 10% discount on the product.
Please don't do that. That might not work.
Don't do that.
I'm going to get sued by Hydro Flask. But yeah, I highly recommend that I'm going to just leave everything on the table with the pizza throughout the show.
Just going to have a messy table throughout the show.
Yeah, messy table. Fuck it, why not? But yeah, let's get on to the clippage.
Cool.
Throughout the
So yeah, episode 2, as I was saying before, was with the Kelsos.
That was a big one. Was that first one with the guest?
Yeah, that was a big one because not only was it our first guest, and did they drive up from Philly to like do something they didn't know they were doing, but they were also had a pretty big announcement.
Yeah, that was really
about their
basement skate.
Their skate. Yeah. So if you want to cut to the first,
this first clip that we're going to show.
Introduce it. Yeah,
the first clip we're going to show. I guess you picked this one out. This is just like how. I mean, first of all, it was like fun ass conversation.
Skate philosophy.
Yeah, it was like pretty much they're our homies forever. We've been skating them forever. We made videos together. We skated for the same companies together. So we have like a lot of. It was nice to catch up with people that we don't get to see that much anymore.
Yeah,
especially because you were like you weren't even officially in New York yet. You were still in Cali, so it's been a while since you've even seen them.
Oh yeah,
and it was really cool. So
long time.
Yeah, it was good to catch up. So it was like a nice, fun conversation between a bunch of homies.
Yeah, but they're basically on this part they kind of share their like philosophy on like having fun with skating and skating different and stuff like that.
I think back to your original question though, that got into all that stuff as far as like participants jumping back in. I think that skating right now in general is just really fun, and I think that people are making it look fun, and everyone's doing something different to make it fun in their own way. And or whatever you want to do with it. I just think that there's a huge circle
of fun skating,
of fun and
like Nemo.
Different. Yeah,
like Nemo's having fun out there.
Oh, blast.
Right?
Just
Nemo's having
weird,
fun. Like I saw he put out a video with someone from Canada, right?
Danny Beer.
Danny Beer.
Right? Yeah.
That's it. I'm sorry. And both of those guys' parts were nuts.
Yeah.
I was like,
I still didn't see that.
I was stoked. I was like, I'm sure like there's like a group of people that are like, and you know what? Maybe like a past version of myself might have been like, no, dude, that's too weird for me. But like now I'm just, I see it like differently as an adult. Like, and you're just like, oh, like the more flavors we have, the more rich it is, you know? And they just have like such their own flavor, and they're going like super duper like, they just don't care. They're just like being really original.
And that's the thing. If it excites me, I don't see why it couldn't excite someone younger than myself.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
And it's just like music. Like if you don't like it, you can discard it and go to what you do like. You know, and that's the point about having options. Like you know, it's
so it was good to hear their. You know, they're very opinionated skaters as well.
Totally.
So
I think we're all pretty opinionated.
I like that reaction. You also see our hurting table setup over
I like
there.
As well. You're like, oh, they're pretty opinionated guys as well.
I didn't even mean to say it like that. But there's you can see our hurting table setup over there. The double table with you can't see the bricks on it. We should take a picture of it. When there was like 4 bricks under there. We had like shit taped together. Oh, it was on books. I think we had books underneath it too.
Yeah.
But that was like, okay, we have a table set up. Now we have people coming. Holy shit, let's like actually finally set something up.
Yeah. And our first guest was 2 guests. So we had to like figure that out.
We had like no space for it.
Yeah.
That was funny.
It was so funny. Looking back on that, I don't mean to be vain, but I was like, and talk about myself, but I was like, dang, my hair was so long then. I don't know if you know, but since then my girlfriend cut about 7 to 8 inches off my hair.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
When
I can tell.
When did that happen?
I can feel it.
Was that recent?
What was it, about 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago?
Oh, I didn't even notice.
She said she was going to cut the ends, and then she cut like 8 inches off. I was like, ah!
Why don't you just do the whole shit and donate it? The whole 13. 7, 8's a big chunk.
I'll probably just do that now at this point.
Yeah, might as well.
Point now. But anyways,
I thought that's what you were gonna do.
I didn't mean to be, but yeah, no. So yeah, that was a bit talking about just how skating's changed and everything like that.
They had a lot of stories about like because we watched a bunch of sections of theirs together, and they had a lot of stories about each other's skating, stuff that was on camera, wasn't on camera, and one of the funny things that we found that because Colin was like one of the first in 900 set of stairs to like land faking a street, and then Sean was saying that he did it before that, but like landed and stopped on a rail. Yeah, and he had like a funny story with all that. So
no one's ever seen this clip of him though. But you know Cecil B. Moore, how like the brick stairs come down there.
Cecil B. Moore's which one?
The one in Temple.
Okay,
with the
Temple.
bricks.
Yeah, the ledges. Yeah.
So over there's like those super steep aluminum rails.
Yeah.
And one day he went there, he dropped down, and he 9'd the set.
What?
He landed perfectly fakey, but just grabbed onto the rail and just stopped.
What?
Landed, just stood there.
Were you going mad slow or something?
I mean, I don't know.
Dude, that might be like some of today's new generation skating. That's like probably like an ender.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Nice. Yeah. Wait, so why didn't you do the actual clip?
I just couldn't. I tried it like over 30 times and was just...
How are you going so slow that you just grabbed the rail? That's
he just moved over that way, and it like if he didn't grab the rail, he probably would have bursted into that wall right there. So.
It's really narrow. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I drifted and I just saw the rail because it's narrow, so I just saw it.
You did the fakey 180 forward 3 though.
I did. I'm surprised you remember that actually.
Oh,
yeah. It's funny because like while those are playing, we're just shoving pizza down our faces.
Right. Yeah, that's our little moment to eat.
And when they cuts back and there's more and more pizza on our plate.
This is a pretty sloppy season finale, but it's all good.
This will be one to look back on.
Yeah,
we're so hungry waiting for that pizza.
We'll be like, what? Look at these savages. Like when you're not hungry and you see people just like scarfing things down, you're like, look at these animals. Then when you're hungry, you're like, I get that.
Yeah, that's definitely
but that's cool.
Microphone.
That story's pretty cool, especially CK doing like the first 900.
They had a lot of stuff on there, like a lot of stories that
they have so many gems.
Yeah, so many more too. I'm sure
we're
gonna do more.
We have to.
100%.
Yeah.
I wanted to do a truth episode with them too, where we like talk about the truth.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome.
So hopefully we get that in the next season. So keep an eye out for that.
So and I guess moving on to episode 3. We had
our first local guest. Our first of many Puerto Ricans to grace our show. This is what started it off. We had a lot of Puerto Rican people in season 1.
Yeah, Jump Street Podcast season 1 is overly represented by the Puerto Rican culture. Hey, but that's good.
They're good skaters.
They're the best.
They're great people, good skaters.
Good style.
Can't complain.
A lot of passion.
Yeah, John Ortiz is another, longtime friend of ours.
Oh, yeah.
And we both grew up like
New
watching
York City
him skate.
legends.
Yeah, we both grew up watching him skate. It was a big one. He had a lot to say about like just him growing up skating in the 90s, his company Go Sports with all the work they do with schools, teaching kids how to skate, getting, more and more kids on skates every year.
Yeah. And,
he's such a positive influence on people in our next generation of skaters. And it was the first of its kind on our show to like show that, side of skating because people don't really see that anymore. Mm-hmm. That are like, people skate every day, don't really see that side of the industry anymore because, why would you get involved in like a school in another city or whatever it may be. But it was cool. He talks about the numbers growing every year and how positive it is and how many people they get on blades every year. And the numbers are just like phenomenal. Yeah. And it's only growing from there. So hopefully they expand like more cities or whatever it may be.
Totally. And I guess the first clip we have of John is one of his most infamous falls. I think it's from Quest or is it Hoax 2?
No, it wasn't Hoax 2. It might have been Quest for the Holy Rail or it might have been just like No Limits or something. I don't know. It is No Limits. Is it No Limits?
No Limits. Okay. So it's like the famous Scorpion fall.
Yeah, the first.
It's at Chess and Checkers in Central Park, like the King Crow. He tries to do Soul to Top Soul.
Huh? Yes. Is it actually labeled as Fall of the Year 96?
On YouTube, it's labeled Fall of the Year. Yeah.
No, it's not.
It was Fall of the
Century. That's crazy because 96 was a busy year for falls.
People were just
learning to play
There was like fall
sections
and videos and like there was 2 fall sections in in that video.
That was that's quite an accolade.
Limits. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Neil Moreno that produced that.
Do you do the first? Is it the first like recorded scorpion fall? Like that's like known. They're called
in
the scorpion.
Blading, yes.
But was it like
in sports? No. I mean, snowboarders, skiers. They'll do like multiple
but
scorpions
was that
in
name
one fall.
like around before your fall? I don't know.
I don't know.
Because the first I've ever heard of a scorpion.
Did y'all see that? Can you play that back?
Well, this is what they see now. They're watching.
Oh man,
bro. Can we talk about that?
So a scorpion fall, for those who don't know, is
whoever was listening.
When you go on your face and your legs go over and kick you in the back of the head.
Well, they don't always kick you in the back of the head.
To.
John managed to kick himself in the back of the head.
Once upon a time, I was a flexible young lad. So
apparently not, as you're in the.
Well, all right. So the story is that's in Central Park. And no one had really skated it before, and I got hyped. I actually sold, Chess and Checkers. I actually sold it for that video,
right?
Yeah.
But I wasn't happy, and I tried to do like a soul to soul. Now I don't honestly remember actually falling and hitting my face and flipping, which is probably why I went so out of control. No, I kind of blacked out.
Yeah, totally. When you hit that hard.
What I do remember is that I remembered like I couldn't put my hand out. If you can't tell, like I have a cast, like a full cast past my elbow where I can't bend my arm.
I noticed that.
Right. Well, I was wearing a blue like.
Yeah, you were like a fleece on or something.
Yeah.
Your boneless knee pads didn't do anything to save.
No, they were not going to help at that moment. Yeah. So all I remember thinking is like, damn, I can't put my hands out to save me. Let me just go to sleep before I fall so I don't feel it.
You laid down. I was going to say
that's usually you take a fall. You're like, I think I'll lay here for a second.
If you could like freeze the frame when he lands, like he gets so comfortable. He's like, wait.
No, dude.
He's like, take a nap, right?
Paint me like one of your French girls right there.
All right, so the... I love it. Well, so the only good thing that came out of this is that fall was very early in my skating career, and it essentially shaped my style because I literally didn't want to fall ever again. So like I made sure whatever I was doing, it was going to be as pinpoint as possible,
you weren't
as
reckless.
smooth as possible. You know, it was well thought out. I didn't want to fall.
That's sick. That he talks about how the next clip too, especially he talks about how that like molded his style kind of today, and how he didn't want to fall after that one fall.
You know what's funny? That's pretty good insight on how he skates. Actually,
yeah. I didn't even mention it in the thing, but my favorite part about that clip was after when the shot of him like in the ambulance afterwards, and he just goes, "Who called the ambulance?" He just looks up like, "Who called the ambulance?" Like he didn't know what was going on.
That's hilarious.
I just want to shout out real quick.
That fall gave him PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder.
I just want to give a shout out. Brian Fuller in the comments said, "This podcast is what we were talking about before. This podcast has brought me back to bleeding. Tomorrow I get a job offer, and it will finally be the chance to grab a new pair of skates after 16 years. That's sick.
Dang,
16 years, a long break.
So tomorrow he's got a job offer. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah,
good luck, Brian, and
go kill it.
Yeah, and make sure you stretch before you skate, or at least like." Go to the gym before or something so your body isn't gonna hate you the next day.
It's a good habit to get into.
Yeah,
I do it about 50% of the time, and the stretch.
Oh yeah,
but the other half of the time I regret not having done so.
Sometimes if I like if I'm going skating whatever, I'll like literally play the drums for like 10 minutes before, and it just loosens up like your back and shoulders and stuff. I mean, not everyone has a drum set. I'm just saying.
Riding the bike to the session helps.
Riding the bike session, yeah. Frank used to do that a lot too. I remember back in the day. But yeah, John pretty much talks about how that like helped shape how he skated today, and how his style changed.
Makes sense.
After that, how he just didn't want to fall after that.
It makes perfect
sense. That's like such a traumatizing fall, especially the first like year or two you start skating. You're like a little kid kicking yourself in the back of the head.
Oh yeah.
So let me roll that real quick.
It's funny that you mentioned that the style developed from taking that fall and wanting to be more precise and more careful. But I was curious, like, who were the people in that time, since there were so few mentors to have because it was such an early time in skating, like who were the people you looked for as inspiration towards style, if you even had any within blading, if you found that outside?
I haven't thought about it in such a long time, but it's a great question. I was skating since the inception of what aggressive inline skating, like what do we call it these days? I don't even know. That's another conversation. Let's not go there. Whatever.
We could.
Not now, not today. That's a full episode.
Right. I looked up to the guys in my neighborhood first because I'd never left my neighborhood. I was a tiny young little kid. And then luckily my parents trusted me enough to actually wander the city, you know, once I started skating and just kind of do my own thing at like 12 years old. Then I started meeting people like in different neighborhoods. One of the first few people was Ray Mendez, who was my brother and partner, you know, in business to this day. Met him, started going up to Malali's, meeting people like Eddie Campos, who legit taught every single New Yorker at the time how to drop in a ramp. Like, he was like the ramp guy.
At what park?
Malali's skate park, of course. It was the only skate park in New York City at the time, which is cool because they just celebrated their 30th anniversary like 2 weeks ago.
Damn, 30
Park's
years.
been there for 30 years.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah, there's 25 parks in New York City now. I just looked it up yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Going back to what we were talking about, people I looked up to, obviously Chris Edwards, because he was the first person we saw in a skate video.
The G.O.D.
The G.O.D. I mean, like, you know, we're in New York. We're street skating. We didn't know a thing about ramps. And then here comes this guy, like, front flipping over cars and, like, doing 720s and stuff. Like, he was amazing. So he was my first like real like, oh my God, like I want to be that guy. Right. And then I had the locals that I met, like Ray Mendez, you know, they're a little older than me, him, Victor Callender, like.
But with all due respect, as these are mentors, like I can't help but like realize that your style is very different from theirs.
Well, I guess. I mean, that just comes from personality. Like, everyone, you know, has their own style in skating. Fair. So back then, the way for you to be an individual in skating when we first started, because everyone had the same skate. It was the Lightning or the Lightning TRS. So the only way to be an individual is by slapping stickers on your skates, like your stickers, and they would be covered. This is a little before your time. Like, legit, you couldn't see stickers on skates plastic on skates. It was just covered in stickers.
Flair, as they say in Office Space. Right.
And then just like, there wasn't many tricks. There was the front side. There was the Mizu, the soul grind. So it was just basically like your version of what those tricks look like.
Back in the day, there wasn't many ways to define yourself as a skater, I guess.
Well, there weren't too many tricks.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. They were all figuring it out as they went.
We should start putting stickers on skates again.
We should.
Why not?
Yeah, get grind plates back too.
Yeah, get grind plates back while you're at it.
Let's make a petition to bring back CDS Detroit.
Surprised that hasn't happened already, actually.
After that,
we hit
episode 4. We had John Julio, which was also our third
back-to-back Johns.
Our third guest.
Yeah,
and huge because
it was big that he was. We're grateful that he was willing to come on the show. You know, he happened to be in town, and another big announcement. He had the new pro skate to announce. And
totally,
it was really cool that he was willing to do that on our show. Back to back, you know, like the Basement Skater, and you got him announcing new products and shit.
Totally, and like he's a guy who's done so much for our sport in like terms of like he's done the IMYTA, he's done the Blade Cup, he's like owned like multiple companies and like done all these things. He's brought like all these videos to you and stuff like that, like the Valo obviously videos and things like that, like these tours that they went on. And so we asked him like, what is your biggest accomplishment out of all the accomplishments you had? And he kind of goes on about that right now.
It seems like you have, like, obviously a lot of accomplishments with everything, whether it be, like, skating or non-skating through your family, whatever. Since you've done so much in blading, what do you think your proudest accomplishment would be? Whether it's the first contest you won or the first company you started, I don't know, IMYTA, something like that. Like, what do you think is most proud for you?
Right now, I know exactly what it is. It's this new Sean Darce Pro Skate. That's like the biggest accomplishment.
Damn, just dropping bombs like that.
Yeah, no,
we're only 29 minutes in. Damn.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the truth.
Yeah,
you know?
That's like your big number deal. One. Okay,
well, it's a huge deal. It's just like bigger than.
We'll get into why it's a big deal. We'll get into why it's a big deal later.
Yeah.
So right now that's your
definitely
because you're kind of like reinventing the business side of the blading.
Industry. I don't want to say that because I don't know what people have done like behind their doors, but I know what I've done in my previous.
You have enough experience to know. You know everybody who skated for every company ever.
Yeah, but you know. Maybe I don't. I don't want to pretend like I know everything.
Okay.
You know. So.
Okay.
I definitely, we as a collective, as a group of good friends, like talked about different situations and why or how come it's like not like this. And I've talked about this in another podcast, but we're actually doing it. So
wait a minute, you've been on other podcasts besides us? You cheating on us?
Well, no, I'm married now though too. That's all that matters.
But
I did not expect that answer though. That's crazy.
Really? What did you think I was gonna say?
I don't know. I don't know.
We're talking about skating.
Yes. Yeah, skating. Yeah. I just like so recent.
It's a good question
because it's a pretty
it's a big deal. That's good.
Currently the biggest deal.
That's a huge answer.
I didn't expect that from him. Like I said, out of all the shit he's done for the past almost 30 years of skating, and it happened to be his most recent project.
But looking looking at it, taking a step back and looking at it, it totally makes sense. Because it's he's taken the ladder to done these companies, then he's gotten to a skate company collaboration with Fallon Rossi's, and this is his first skate company, and it's his first which is crazy because he's been involved for so long, and this is his opportunity
to be
to kind of take full control. So I'm sure it's a heavy weight, and
he's just climbing the ladder of what you could do in his industry.
Yeah, he's the man.
Yeah, he's just on top now, just the first one to actually own his own skate company.
Yeah, and
actually change the way shit is run.
It's amazing
coming from a skater,
and he's trying to go to bat for his riders. Which anyone who owns a skate company, if you want to see skating prosper, invest in your riders, because the longer those people stay around and continue to push and things like that. Yeah. I mean, they give back to the new generation. It's just this thing that flourishes, and as opposed to kind of being
well, we need these people obviously because they're representing our sport.
Of course.
They're the face of what we do.
Of course, and they've been around for so long and done so much, which leads us to the next clip we have of John. He's done so much. We're what, John? How much? What tricks have you invented? So we go into the tricks he's invented.
What tricks did you actually invent?
Yeah,
I think that's people want to.
There's
some confirmation.
This grind called the sidewalk. I'm pretty popular. Inventing.
That's you.
I knew that one.
That's you.
Yeah, that's me.
Yes.
Yeah, that's definitely me.
Because I've been.
That was my favorite grind when I was a kid.
Well, there's Ortiz had some, very. I feel where he was coming from when he brought up his the East Coast names for tricks. So
right.
I grew up in this industry around the same period basically. Yeah. So on the West Coast,
different side of the country.
Different. It was different. So we could have been doing the same grinds, but calling them the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I would just so happen to get the coverage. I got the magazine ad or.
Yeah, but what about the name though? The name would be.
Yeah, Unity. With Unity grind. I was skating with John Starr and Randy Burnell from the Bay Area.
Okay.
And we were at Silver Creek, and we were just let's try this grind with our legs crossed, and I think John might have done it, and I did it, and Randy was doing it, and we're and then we didn't have a name for it, and maybe to the next day or so, we're let's just call it Unity. It kind of has you're crossing your legs.
Dude, I never knew that. I didn't know you invented the Unity.
The Unity was the only thing besides the sidewalk. I was pretty sure
going
that was
back
you,
to
and I wanted
Star
to
being there and Burnell being there.
Well, your crew, you guys, and then being we got to do this, we got to name it.
And then I had the Cosmo ad, and then I had the first actual printed. Maybe I wasn't the first printed, but it definitely had some sort of impact. I did a Unity down this rail in San Diego, and
I think it's hard to
So we got sidewalk.
Yeah.
We got the Unity.
Anything else
Mistrial.
on your Mistrial? What?
Yeah.
Did anybody know that? Damn, Miguel's shaking his head. He's I know everything. It's cool to hear where the history of these tricks and shit came from.
It's funny. Out of all the things that I knew about John, I didn't know he invented the Unity.
Yeah, I didn't know the Mistrial one.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I wish there should be a book somewhere that has every trick in skating and who invented the trick next to it. Let's make a list.
The Blade Bible.
The Blade Bible.
We
Yeah,
need to make the Blade Bible.
They got the Wu-Tang Bible. They have the Blade Bible.
That's something I wanted to do a while ago. I started.
It sounds familiar.
I started reaching out to people like Brooke Howard Smith and was you got to be a part of the. In every Bible, there's a Genesis. So we need to get the proper Genesis of. But that could be something we could do in the future.
That's a sick idea.
Or anyone could do it.
Yeah.
Take this idea, go kill it.
Fuck it. Hell yeah.
That'd be awesome. For it. Or not. Maybe you think it's stupid and let us do it. We'll fuck it up. Who knows? But
we fuck everything up.
Yeah.
So now that we're done with that pizza, we're going to move on to our next episode.
Are we done, though?
Not for now.
Okay, we'll see.
We had Farmer on, too, because he was in town for the Pope-Off.
That was really special, too.
Yeah, it was cool. You don't really see too much of Farmer, I guess, interview-wise or personality-wise, so it was cool to have him on.
Yeah, he's a bit more reserved, so I think he was apprehensive at
After
first.
he drank all my alcohol in my house.
What he was getting into.
Yeah.
He was able to. And then we convinced him to do it. We drank a couple drinks and took the edge off.
We don't have that much alcohol, but all the alcohol we did have, he drank it all.
Yeah, all the alcohol that Austin has, which was 3 nips and 2 beers.
He drank it all.
Yeah, he drank it all.
But it's a good time now for this one clip because we talked about him skating in the snow because last year he started putting out Facebook clips daily of him doing not just little pussy skating. He was really going in, and he's doing that again now.
And again, like we were talking about why he did it last year in the snow, and
why?
Literally the first snow that they had in Minnesota, he was like, "Let's go out and do it again."
Like it was still like 60 degrees in New York, but it was snowing in Minnesota. I'm watching clips, I'm like, what the hell?
So yeah.
This is him just.
Farmer goes on talking about what's up with that,
and now this is really relevant now since it's snowing now, and he's doing it again.
He's still going.
Yeah.
Yeah, once I moved back, because I was living in California, and I'd moved back to Minnesota 2 years ago, but then last winter season, I just kind of, I don't know, like, didn't necessarily, kind of like hibernated a little bit, which, I mean,
we all do.
Yeah. But then, when it came to this past season, it was just like, let's just do it.
You just didn't want to, like, hold you back, right?
I just thought, why not try to, do what we did when we were kids, skating in the snow, shoveling spots out. Like, why not?
Shoveling spots.
Yeah, no.
It's so real.
But we so Brett Dasovic and I, like, we had, like, our limit. Like, it had to be 25 degrees Fahrenheit or higher. Like, if it was below that,
right.
That's still extremely low.
But that's not counting wind chill. Like, it could have been like 25 degrees Fahrenheit, but it feels like 10. We'd still go out.
Yeah.
So that.
So there were rules.
There were rules,
but not
it
much.
Didn't look too. Yeah, it was still. Every time I was watching your clips too, because it was obviously winter in New York too, and I'd be like, no, it's way too cold. I didn't want to like go anywhere, like go to the store to go shopping, and you're like out there skating, and it was like. Makes my bones chill like watching it, but it's like crazy because you were going in, like you weren't just
he wasn't
you weren't just snow skating, you were like skating, you were like filming for like Mind Game 5 or whatever, right. like you were going in. Well, it's crazy.
Well,
but yeah,
He's like, well.
So we were listening to that and we were like 20. We both looked at each other like 25 degrees. Like, wow.
He was like, it could be 25 degrees Fahrenheit outside with the wind chill. It's like 10.
I'll take 25 Celsius, please.
So Farm is an absolute beast. Still,
yeah, make sure you follow him on Instagram and Facebook for his current snow skating adventures.
Is it the Pharmacy?
The Pharmacy on Instagram, and I think at Facebook is probably just Chris Farmer.
Yeah, Chris Farmer. Yeah. So he's going for another season of it, and it doesn't look like he has any signs of slowing down.
No. He also got into his influence on how he skates nowadays too, which I was curious about. We heard John's influence on his skating, whatever. And it was he talks about DL, how Dustin had a huge influence on his skating, which you could clearly tell.
Yeah.
Watching his like skating through the Mind Game days. And the more he skated together, the more the more he was just influenced by him.
Right.
And he goes into explaining a little bit about that. Like when you started riding like Deshi or something like that, like your skating style changed a little bit, and you were definitely looking outside the box, jumping through crazy things or whatever it may be. Is there anything that like you could attribute?
Dustin Latimer.
Dustin Latimer. There you go.
Hands down.
There you go. Was that after his words?
The G-O-D. For me, that's my G-O-D.
Yeah. That's your G-O-D.
For sure. No, like.
Was that after that My Game section, or?
Well, I mean, during like filming with him, like filming for Words, that was
that was his turning point too.
Skating with Dustin, like
that whole time. God damn.
So like that summer, like it was just like what on earth?
Imagine filming a video with Dustin.
Dude, like that video.
That's crazy.
That.
Yeah. Well. Like, yeah.
So, but yeah, he had he always had an influence on my skating. Like even since the first Medium video, like whenever I saw Children of the Night, that was like it's like what was it, introducing Arizona's best kept secret. Dustin Latimer is like seeing like the tricks in that video is just like
it's unbelievable. He's always been.
And yeah.
I think Aaron, and you should all be millionaires in my mind.
Right? Yeah. Straight up.
Like those three people should not have to worry.
Yeah.
About,
See, a lot of people were influenced by Dustin.
Oh,
but, like, he got to like experience it firsthand.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It probably made a huge difference on it too.
Yeah, like direct, like in like the.
He's a big influence on you too. Dustin,
yeah, but like Farmer was skating with him directly in like Latimer's most creative stage.
Yeah,
like
skating hard with him.
Yeah, his most like influential like. When like like you're hitting the ceiling, he's like
he was pushing the limits.
Just
every section
that.
he had.
Yeah. So like Farm got like some of that really good like direct live creative
definitely rubbed
Latimer
off.
Energy. Yeah.
Definitely rubbed off on.
Oh yeah. But shout out to friggin' Chris Farm or Dustin Latimer.
Dustin Latimer too. Yeah. Maybe Dustin Latimer in an upcoming season. Who knows?
It'd be great.
Who knows?
It'd be lovely.
That would be so sick.
It'd be lovely.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get him to make us a flute.
Yeah, let's go flute making.
That'd be tough. That'd be tough.
We'll bring Abdiel, and we'll go there, and Abdiel's already in the woods, like, oh, hey, guys.
I was like, hey. Making a flute.
So back to, we're going to shout out a few more products over here while we're in the flow of things real quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little pricey for a gift, but why not? We wanted to shout out the Sean Darsky now that we were talking about it with John.
Totally.
It's just such like we was talking about before, like such a groundbreaking kind of product, and you're supporting everything you want to support in skating. You're supporting the man behind the company. You're supporting the skater behind the skate. He's getting the proper royalties like skaters should have been getting for the past 25 whatever years. And I mean, if you're looking for a skate, check out them skates. They just dropped their version 2s of all their models now, the 908s.
It's $200. It was $199.
$199, yeah.
Dude, when I was a kid, like 13 skates were more than that. That's 20 years ago. Over 20 years ago.
13 skates?
No, when I was like 13 years old.
Yeah.
20 years ago.
Yeah, 20 years ago.
Like the skates.
20 years
ago. But like, no, the skates
when
were
hot dogs were only a nickel.
Yeah. When slices of pizza were $1.25. No, but it was, the skates were like more expensive then.
Yeah.
So like one of the things like, there's always a problem with blading, like having like skates be like affordable for like the younger kids. But that's a $200 skate.
Yeah, and I think was it $10 or $15 goes directly to Sean.
Directly to Sean.
That's fucking sick.
So not only like you're giving like the money's going to Sean, but it's not only going to Sean because you're reinvesting into keeping people
exactly
blading. Like,
and the more, I mean, if this skate does well, then there's gonna be another skate, and everyone's gonna want to ride for them.
Our industry's gonna grow, and it's gonna grow.
Yeah, other companies will catch wind of it, and whatever they need to do to make their companies work in the same way.
Right.
Everyone's gonna be like, yo, this guy's making so much money here.
Maybe we could make a little industry standard, change the game a little bit
unionize.
In a positive way.
We're unionizing.
That'd be great. Yeah, make a union. That'd be cool.
And I have this one here actually.
The next one is the
I bought this feet hoodie from Lonnie, and I mean not a hoodie,
the feet crew neck,
and it's just like, feel this thing. I don't know if you've seen it. It's like I don't know who makes it, but it's super soft and comfy. And I just
aren't going to be able to obviously feel this, but
I love this. I love this thing. I wear it all the time. I ordered a second one too, so I have a second one coming as well. I ordered a blue one.
I want to buy one.
Yeah, this thing is sick.
Corey, why didn't you wear this?
Yeah, I just wanted to shout that one out because that.
My girlfriend gave a thumbs up. This is really cool.
And everywhere I walk around, people are like, feet? What the hell is that? Like, people just laugh. They think it's funny that it just says feet. They don't get anything. But, and another thing you're supporting another, blader that's going to continue to put money back in the industry. So check out, I have all the links to everything down below, by the way, too, if you want to check that out.
Yeah.
So I think it's like feetblading.com. And check out one of these hoodies. These crew necks. Super comfy.
Yeah.
You're going to want to sleep in that shit.
I want to leave with this, but it's not mine. It's yours. Yeah.
All right. And moving on to the clips.
Yeah. Episode 6. Like, speaking of Puerto Ricans.
Yeah. Back to the Puerto Ricans. Miguel.
We had Miguel come visit. Like, it was the same during the BPSO.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite episodes.
This was our first morning episode.
Yeah, it was. It was our first non-live episode too, I think.
It's our first non-live, and it's our first morning episode.
Yeah.
And Miguel has like an incredible history with skating. Mm-hmm. Like, he's built skate parks in Puerto Rico, and he's been around forever.
Yeah.
So he actually, like, a lot of like the old guys like who've been skating for a long time, they talk about skating in the 90s. But Miguel talks about what it was like skating in the 80s in Puerto Rico. And
which is crazy.
Yeah, that's this next clip coming up.
My first time skating was like, oh my god, very, very little. There was a pair of skates at home, roller skates.
Mm-hmm.
The
quads?
The quads.
Roller skates, wow.
This is before inline. And I grew up across the street from where the skate park is nowadays. There's always been ramps there since the 80s. So I always run away from my grandma's house and skate and go to the skate park and spend all day there. And people just say, here's a bike, here's a skateboard, here's a pair of roller skate. I'm the kid, I'm playing there. So I grew up there. Like, see people building ramps, selling things on the street to make money and build more ramps. So that was my that was everything for me. And right there, I knew right away. I was like, this is so rad. Music and skating, that's it. So that was in the 80s. But I own my first pair of inline skates.
First of all, not so many people who skate can say in the
I was
80s.
just thinking that. I was like, holy shit, the 80s.
We always say like the 90s.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, remember the
like mid 90s,
so
like
yeah,
mid 80s. I didn't even know that.
That's a rare thing to say.
So
not skating in the 80s, you know.
In 92, my sister, 91, 92, my sister had a pair of inline skates. It was a new thing back then. I was already a skateboarder, like, and all the other stuff, but I was really into already like grinding and ramps and all that stuff. So she had a pair of inline skates. I was like, whoa. And then a homie came to my house, and he told me like, there's a guy in California that do handrails and these things, and I was like, because I know that people do tricks on roller skates on vert ramps. I used to watch.
He was talking about Edwards. Obviously.
Yeah, he's talking about Edwards. Yeah. And I've been seeing like roller skaters.
Yeah, there's a guy. There's one guy.
There's one guy. I don't know. I haven't seen many videos or anything like that.
There's a guy. There's one guy.
Yeah. My friend told me there's a guy who hits rails on these things in California. Was it Edwards?
Yeah. There's a guy who's doing it. One guy. Yeah. I want to see when he says he was skating in the 80s, like roller skates. I picture like on a TV show, there's like a flashback, and he's like has like an afro, and he's like little Miguel, like looking all funny. But definitely rare to see anyone skating in the 80s.
That's amazing.
A lot of us were infants or not even born yet.
Yep. Yeah, that's amazing. And anyone that knows Miguel, knows he's like an incredibly positive guy.
Mad love.
He's
all
just
around.
Like his energy is just so good. Like me, I could be a little stress case. I'm like, when I'm like around him, like
I know, yeah,
very calm. He's
like one of those guys you walk up to and you just want to like just hug him. You're like,
right.
You're like,
he has this contagious, calming energy. Yeah, and it's just like I feel more calm now that Miguel's around.
Yeah, everything will be okay.
Exactly,
Miguel's here.
And he talks about like he does nothing but like he does so much positive stuff, and he does all these projects, and he actually talks about getting into the Caminos project, which was he started to kind of get skates on kids and these things like that. So he goes into that
non-profit on that.
Yeah,
we don't have that much for the kids these days.
True.
So I want to start some little something to give something to the kids so they can be like stoked, and like and push themselves, because reality of it is that you need that, even though you love it, but you need that flame.
Yeah.
So I need to try to figure this out. So I was like, all right, you give me this chance to this. I want to create. I always say I want to create a brand, but I don't want to create a brand. I want to create something I don't know about. So I came with this idea, like I have on my past of non-profit things, with the non-profit in Puerto Rican. So I was like, let me try to do something. So the money the money we raise, and whatever I'm gonna win from this shirt, I want to be part of this project, Caminos. I want to be that money be there, and I'm gonna put some money on it too. I have like $1,000 left from my back surgery. When Daffy did the GoFundMe, I pay all my bills, and I have $1,000, $1,000, 1030.
Yeah, 1,000.
1,000. So I have 1,000 left that I have. As I need to do something for skating with this extra money because it comes from skating. 1 and 3 zeros. I thought $1,000, cabrón. I'm really bad at numbers in English, believe it or not. I'm horrible. $1,000,
That was hilarious.
So I got that money extra, and plus what we make from this T-shirt, we will start this project called Caminos, and it's like a non-profit. It's a project, and we're gonna help. My goal is to be able to see kids that are really hungry for this, and be maybe like a kid with his homies that really wants to film a video or something like that. Mm-hmm. They're young and they're hungry, like guys, what I'm talking about. Imagine be able to give them a video camera. A cool video camera so they can have it. Or maybe there's this kid in France that is really good in contests. He wants to be able to come to Blade Cup one year. I would love to with that money. I want to be able to help them travel here.
Fucking Miguel.
Miguel is the man.
Miguel's in there right now.
Yeah, in the comment section.
We love you too, Miguel.
Yeah, he's the man. He's like always trying to such a selfless person.
Miguel is for the children.
Oh yeah, Miguel is for Miguel, like Wu-Tang, is for the children for sure. And
we'll keep along with our trend.
We stay on the island on this one. We're not leaving.
We have a new.
We're not leaving the island on this.
We have a new family member in New York. Abdiel.
Yeah, I haven't seen Abdiel in a while.
Long time. I haven't seen him in a few weeks either.
He's out in Long Island, a bit further from the city. Mm-hmm. So I think that's part of it. I'm at least hoping that's part of it, because otherwise I would be very upset.
Yeah, I know.
But
it's good to have him back.
And Abdiel also hates winter, so he's probably in hibernation right now.
I hate it because we all hate winter. Yeah, but like
it like pains him.
Yeah,
he's such a tropical boy.
I feel so bad, but it's just like so funny because like we all know like how it is. Yeah, and he's just like with his stories like, oh my god, it's miserable. Like I talk to him, he's like, oh, I'm sick. The whole family's sick.
Yeah, he suffers. It's different.
But he enjoys the company. He enjoys us all in the warmer months and stuff like that.
Yeah, I look forward to hanging out with him in like April.
Yeah. Hopefully we see him before then.
Yeah, maybe we could do a Puerto Rico trip or something.
But it was cool talking with Abdiel. He had a lot of like throwback stories.
Yeah.
And he lived in the Esco house, so he was in Cali for a long time. Yep. Grew up skating in Puerto Rico.
Oh yeah.
Miguel and these guys, and
legend.
And one of the things that everyone wanted to talk about was like the USD tour days.
Yeah.
From the USD tour video, and he had a lot of stories about that. He had like a bunch of pictures and shit about it too. So this is a little clip of him talking about some of the USD tour days, and like some of his favorite moments from that.
Awesome.
So I mean, it wasn't too many crazy stories that were not in the video.
Yeah, because there was a lot of shit in the video. There was a lot of shit in the video.
Everything is in the video.
Yeah.
So
almost everything was documented.
When we were doing, when they were like, at nighttime, doing something to one another, and with the firecrackers or whatever, it's there. When we damaged a hotel room for like thousands of dollars. It's in the video. It was crazy.
So I didn't know that was like thousands of dollars.
It was thousands of dollars of damages in that room. Yeah, and everything was charged to
USD,
a tour, man.
That's a fucking tour right there.
Yeah, it was.
So whoever made that video did a really good job on capturing.
Yo, shout out to Matthias because that was worth it.
It was. It was definitely one of the best tours of our lives. And. Other than the partying, the skating was just amazing.
Right.
Amazing. And going to skate park, watching all those kids going wild every time we got out of that RV. It was a little tiny experience of what, like, the famous people experience, I guess, but in our little bit
niche,
of fame,
you get a little bit of fame right there.
But it was awesome though to see
people excited.
One thing that I loved to be around the newcomers, the new skaters. I was one of those guys that I would skate with them and talk to them, and it was something so special to see that we had a full generation of little kids and looking up to us. Right. That's one of the things that fucking blew my mind in a time when I was like, we can't continue being too wild. We gotta
be an idol kind of.
Yeah, like we got a generation of kids coming up and they think that this is all about rock star life. Not now. You can't do that again. It was fun. Yeah. And it was part of the lifestyle of like what we were living, but we grew up a little bit too. We can still do that, but we have to be conscious that we have a generation of kids that are coming up and they have to look up to something, and they need to see that their
it
idols
can't be shitty.
No, and especially if we want our industry to grow. Yeah. And we want parents to see what their kids are watching, and they're like, hey, you want to be that? No, we want to have like kids to look up to, and see John Julio and see you guys and see what John and Ray are doing here in New York and with Go Sports, and that's what we need to do now. Give a good example for that generation. Right. But that was for me something amazing to see when I was going on tour. Like, whoa, looking all this generation of kids just like going wild when they see us, and that definitely helped me change my perspective in life. And
I can see that.
And as a professional,
Yeah. Well, this in. Well, Abdiel is also for the children.
Abdiel is here.
I shout out Abdiel's in the chat right now. We got all of our former, guests.
Alumni.
Our alumni. We got
JSP alumni.
We got Gav is in here. I don't know what time it is where you are, Gav. You're literally on the other side of the planet right now.
Yeah, I was probably having a little breakfast right now.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Unless you woke up early for this show.
Yeah, that's a really positive message. I think came up in season 1 a few times. Mm-hmm. That I think is something that we should, as a culture, start to kind of acknowledge, because it's fun being immature and chaotic, but it's also cool to like usher in a orderly and presentable industry to a younger market so we can grow. So I think it's something. I think that was a really good point that Abdiel touched upon.
Yeah, and that's like relatable too. Like you've been on tours and shit like that, and like you go to like a, you go to a skate park or something like that, and it's like a ton of kids there and they're all excited to see you and skate with you and shit like that, and it feels really good. And it's when you see it firsthand, you're like, oh shit, we really do have to set an example for all these kids.
Totally.
and we're heading that way.
Totally. I mean, at least we're having the conversation now because
exactly.
I know
people are actually making moves on it.
I know there was a point we weren't even having that conversation.
Yeah.
We were just doing whatever.
Now that everyone's older and
we were just doing whatever the hell we wanted. We were just doing whatever. So it's good to at least spread this message that I think is good for people to talk about.
Yeah. No, stuff's happening.
Yeah, stuff's happening. That's good.
Yeah. Speaking of stuff happening, episode 8, this is exciting for us. We got to go to Woodward.
Stuff happened there. Oh my God.
Woodward's all about the youth.
Yeah. And that was our first time we had like a crowd.
Yeah, an audience.
Yeah. We had like over 100-something people.
Yeah, I don't know how many people were there. We should have had a head count.
It was insane energy.
It was really cool. Yeah, it was really fun, really different for us.
Oh yeah.
We're going to do the same thing at like Winterclash. But I want to do more of this stuff. Whatever events we can.
Totally.
Have a show like this. We would like to do that. And it was really cool to see like firsthand. We had a live audience. We were live on the internet.
Yeah.
So it was a big crowd. And, just a whole different environment. Everyone was super hyped because we were at Woodward for the, what year is this? What year is it? Woodward trip. This is going to be an annual trip now. Hosted by Long and Cameron.
Yep.
So, we had both of them on as a guest. And they had a great story on how they talk that about whole trip
organizing the whole trip and how it's grown.
Yeah, and how it just like completely took off from just their idea.
Well, there was a point where every time we would go to Woodward, which would be like twice a year, we'd get emails or messages like, I really want to go to the next one. I really want to go to the next one. But there was always a limited number of people that we could bring because they would only give us Bud's Barn or only the Lodge. And that's, it's really tough to choose who comes and who goes. So, or who stays home, excuse me. And so me and Cameron were talking about it and we were like, what if we could make something where we could convince Woodward that we could bring 100 of, or, well, geez Louise, like 200, 300.
We said 100, like, we're like high expectations with that.
Yeah. Wow.
And luckily we were able to, with lots of, and that's the thing. So for me, I was kind of the idea. Cameron was a lot of the negotiation. I wasn't, I live in North Carolina, so it's really tough to meet and talk to them and convey the right message. Cameron was my guy. We thought 100% the same way about this event. I could say that if you were to ask him a question, we would probably answer it the same. And so it was a team effort for sure.
It was just a big dream with two guys collaborating, and we're like, well, let's do this, let's make this happen. What do we got to do to make it happen? And then it just started from there. And then my wife heard in, she chimed in, and because she works here year round, and that was like our in. Like I was like, I can say anything to my wife. There's nothing you can't say to your wife. If I need to say something to get things done, we got to get it done.
And you needed only 100 people to do this, right? Like there was like a minimum kind of.
No.
They had told me that 70, because I was like, I really am confident that we can hit 60.
Yeah, we're like double what we've been doing.
And Jen, who we also worked really close with, and a lot of people booked through. She was like, if they're 60, that's great.
Yeah.
And she was just really supportive the whole time. And a lot of the, like we did a lot of the promotion, but like Jan did all the booking, which is
shout out Jan.
Shout out Jan for the help.
Yeah.
And she had to put up with us too. So,
And she believed it, and she said she was the one that was like, let's do this. Like
that's awesome.
Literally, let's do this then. Like I'm in charge of the lodge, I'm in charge of booking. We don't need anything else but the idea and the go,
Makes things way easier when everyone's on board with it.
Exactly, yeah.
Everyone's on the same team fighting for the same thing. Do you know how many people actually showed up here or no?
I think 200.
280?
280. 280.
Damn, so 280.
Damn. 280.
That's crazy. That was crazy.
Much love to Cam and Long for organizing that. They, without even knowing it, they just like created probably the biggest skating event of the. Well, it's probably going to be one of the biggest skating events, for years to come. And
man, that could really evolve into something even bigger.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, if it was 280 this year, it's only going to grow more next year. I'm sure more people are going to come out for it, more than just like the East Coast guys, because almost everyone just drove. I mean, people flew from like Florida and stuff like that too. But I could picture people from like the West Coast easily flying out for this.
Next year, we should try to get some kind of crazy best trick going.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do more shit next year. And I can't wait to do another live there next year.
Oh, that'll be fun.
So, we also spoke about like, getting more seats in there and stuff like that so we could fit a larger crowd. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, huge shout out to Long, and the guy just crushes it. And Cam too. Thanks for having us.
Hell yeah.
But we also
had
Richie.
Yeah, we have Richie.
Yeah, and Richie, the New York Secret Weapon. Those who don't know, he's been like the director at Woodward West for like many years. He's now moved to Woodward East, New York City native, Brooklyn, Williamsburg to be specific, and has like a long history of just like killing at a contest from like forever, the 90s.
Crazy.
Yeah, forever.
Crazy.
But he goes in and talks about like what he thinks would be a good idea for like youth contests and like and events. And so
it was interesting to hear like his aspect on it from somebody who's not just involved in blading but involved in all the major action sports. Being involved in Woodward, he has eyes on like every industry out there. So it was cool. I was cool to get his
he's got a really good perspective on
his
it.
take on that.
Totally.
With your involvement in Woodward over all these years, what are like some like important things maybe, or maybe like the most important thing that you learned about just action sports in general, not just inline, but like maybe the way we work together, or maybe mistakes that certain industries have made over the years? Like, do you see that kind of stuff happen? Do you like learn from that stuff?
Yeah, I think that one of the things that we were super passionate about, after like 2003, 2004, 2005, it was a big year for me. I was like competing in ASAs and like NIST contest, and I think that those things I felt like they got a lot of flack because there was just like you had your pro circuits, you had your pro riders that were competing in street contests, and then you had this this competitive series that was it was a ramp contest basically. And so I like, in my mind, when I see those things, I think like it's important to have a little bit of competition in skating.
Of course, yeah.
Because you see, you have Little League football, you have Little League baseball, you have, a lot of these skateboard contests are gearing towards the younger kids. I felt like we focused a lot on like the pro aspect of the sport, that we lost track of the amateur base, awarding those kids and seeing what, these guys are doing now it's really inspiring. Like,
just watching that, I'm like hyped on next year's trip to Woodward.
That's going to be so
Can't wait for that. Yeah. We got to fill that place up.
You got to fill that place up.
Everybody start saving.
And they get the hotels outside of Woodward filled up too.
We'll get them all.
Big old bash.
The whole town is going to be just slammed with skaters.
Oh, that'll be great.
So that was a really fun one. Definitely looking forward to doing that again next year.
And then we move on to our first international guest.
Yep. That was a big step for us too.
That was big. That was super lucky and random because, obviously the location of our show and like certain seasons we're like limited to who we can have, you know. And
people just like fall into our laps.
I think we've done a pretty good job working with what we'd have, who we've gotten, but we randomly Dominic Bruce was in town and he was visiting with his girlfriend and his family. And actually, his girlfriend and friends, but his dad ended up flying in later. So,
is that what happened?
Yeah, surprised him, which was like pretty cool. And so he basically, he's a very interesting. Everyone who knows Dominic knows he's like a super deep kid. He's a very energetic guy, and he just like, he has a really good way of looking at things. Yeah. So he kind of gets into like his ideas and his philosophy and his learning experience, right? And
pretty much. He has he has a lot of interesting stuff to say. It was hard to like even just get snippets of it because he has so much good shit to say.
So much,
But
so many gems.
Yeah, this is one of the highlights here. Yep.
I wasn't brought up with any particular religious belief. I wasn't like christened or anything, and I wasn't like married in wedlock or anything. I was just I wasn't conceived in wedlock. I'm just
you were born a free.
Yeah, I wasn't, and my mom and dad weren't exactly pressing for any one idea or another. So I had a lot of chance, I think, when I was younger, just to have my own ideas. Yeah. Whether I even realized it or not, I think like you come to notice these things when you're older. But when you're not realizing it, when you're very young, you're actually forming beliefs in yourself without realizing it. When you're 5, 6, 7, 8, that when you come to and when you start to develop a sort of self-conscience and an awareness, and you start to come in contact with different experiences, like of growing older, like your sexuality, just all different things, right. Then you come to meet
yourself. I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, that makes actually a lot of sense. Like,
and I just skating is definitely one of my biggest bases for working with the elements of yourself. You know, it's like you really have to bring everything into action and stuff like that. And just I don't know.
And I think also like sorry for cutting you, but I think like part of that thing in skating is not just the skating, but it's like the connection you have with the people like who are such open people, and then you're being influenced by these. Yeah,
and I hung out with like I didn't have much like I have friends from school. You know, there's a handful of friends from school that although we don't maybe hang out so much anymore, I very much regard as like people who shaped my life. And I'm sure we had some connection and being able to shape each other's lives.
Yeah.
But most of my time growing up was spent with older people who were talking about different things that didn't relate to what I was necessarily experiencing in my life, but I was hearing of them through them, you know. I was through skating, you see things that you don't necessarily see as a kid if you were hanging out with a group of friends your own age. You know, you're hanging out with people who are doing things you've never seen people do. Like that doesn't only mean on the skates, but also off the skates. You know, there's people are smoking, people are doing this and that, and you just come to accept these things in different ways, you know. So I think there's an element of maturing that can happen just by being exposed to things you're not usually aware of, you know.
Yeah.
His that statement alone was like relatable for me too, since I was always the young kid in the group as well, and I was just growing up, just hanging around older people all the time. Yeah. And, that was definitely relatable to me as well, because he's a young guy, too. He was 21.
Oh, yeah.
So that's, like, a huge difference between people, like, our age, which most skaters now are our age, too. So
I Roskilde, he camped in my tent. He was 16. I don't know if that's illegal or we were in Europe, so I don't know.
Why not? That was the first time I got to meet him, actually. I never met...
he was here?
Yeah, I never even spoke to him until he walked through the door and, came in here. So that was cool, too, that my first, conversation with him was under those circumstances. And
he's a very glowing person.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's rad.
And everything he says is not even just skating related, but everything is just life related, and it's everybody. He speaks the truth.
He's a deep dude. Yeah,
he does.
He's a deep dude.
And there's one thing about friends that I really felt too.
His years.
Yeah, there's one thing about friends that he spoke about, which is relatable to all of us as well, through skating with all our friends hanging out all the time and shit like that. So I just want to roll this one too real quick.
Cool.
There's just experiences I've had that have, I guess, developed my way I see things, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. When you hang around a lot of older people, too, you're already soaking in their experiences.
Right. And my mom and dad took me to a lot of places when I was younger. I've been fortunate to be able to, travel around, you know, and
that also helps.
Yeah, see new places, and I'm also, I don't have brothers and sisters. I'm an only child. So I think then my friends and those other people close to me kind of take the place of what a brother or a sister or something would be. So, your friends, even though they're not directly maybe your bloodline, they end up
being like brother,
having the sort of relations that you would have with closer family members and stuff. So a lot of my conversations when I have to speak about things that I'm going through don't happen with family members even sometimes. Although I have no hesitance to speak to them, I've spoke a lot to older bladers, and they have different perspectives than maybe friends my own age would, you know.
Of course.
So I was offered maybe advice that was different than I would be getting from people at school, for example, or something. You know, I don't know. Not that I was maybe even taking the advice, but at least I was hearing it.
Yeah.
And age is such a strange thing to put your finger on, because there can be children you meet at certain ages and you're like, wow, how are you so intelligent for your age?
Totally.
Or you can meet people who are much older and you think, how have you not got past that way of thinking?
Right. Totally.
So age becomes such a relative thing, and it's hard to define what you should be doing for a certain age, because we put these markers on. By this time you should be this, by this time you should be that.
Yeah.
Okay, 30, then you should be doing this. And then there's these sort of stages of development we place importance on, you know?
Right.
But some people, it takes longer than others to do certain things, and you have to just go your own pace and work through the way you need to do it in your own time, you know. And some people get there to certain places quicker than others, and some people take longer at that thing and slower at other things.
Exactly. You know? There's so many different.
So maybe some people develop in one way, but in another sense they're very not behind, but they feel like it takes a little bit more effort to get to that place, you know?
Totally.
Some people are naturally drift and are attracted to certain ways of thinking, certain ways of acting, and certain ways of expressing themselves. And some people are more inclined to a mathematical sort of linear, following a sort of a discourse.
We're dying over here because in the comments, Brent Beeford said, "Yo, that dude farted on our pizza at Woodward."
Yeah,
I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
No, I was there. Okay, so like at Woodward, like during the Woodward trip, like I brought me and Dominic went, and like we got a bunch of, I don't know, I guess Brent ordered a bunch of pizzas and stuff, with a bunch of pizza pies around, and then. I guess, but it was like way past the time when it was good. Like, you know, when like you order pizza at like
old,
6,
yeah.
It was like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. Like later on the night, everyone's drunk. You know, everyone's having a few beers. And Dominic just like opened the pizza and then he just like farted on the pizza.
So no one could eat it?
And then Brandon Ford was like, "That's my pizza, dude. Why'd you fart on my pizza?"
Dominic's like, "Are there any toppings on this pizza?" Oh, let's find out.
"Oh, I'm sorry, man." I can't even do his accent.
But I was dying reading that, and the fact that you were like, "Oh yeah, he 100% did."
Yeah, and it's funny that my segue. And well, we were talking about whether we should mention it or not in the show, and I was like, "It's not that bad. At least it's not Andy Cruz." And that's when I came back in. And don't get me wrong, Andy Cruz is a legend. So, and he's a great guy, and it sucks that we've only talked about him on the show peeing, but he's been done a ton of incredible stuff.
Maybe one day we'll get him on the show not peeing or showing his genitalia or his ass.
He's done so much great. First, if we have him on the show, he has to pee on somebody. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Not me.
I'll take it. Not me. I'll do it. I'll take it for the team.
If he ever comes back from, he's like in Helsinki, right?
Yeah. He's yeah. Okay.
Let's jump back into some more holiday products.
Holiday products.
We got
a history of blading poster.
This is sick. I don't know if you saw this either, but I saw this on the Oak City website. I don't know if other shops have this as well, but it's a poster, a $10 poster, history of rollerblades, and it's got everything from like the original TRSs. We got some K2s on there, the out skates, Razor Flats, Fifth Elements, and these nice little like cartoons.
So this is from 88 to 2003.
Yeah, something like that. With the Shima Cyrus, I wanted that skate so bad.
Oh, the Razor Flat.
Yeah, there's a lot of goodies on there. This is I think this is a sick poster just to have,
sick.
Like, you know, in your room or whatever, in your garage, whatever it is. And I just saw that nice little inexpensive gift.
It's a good idea.
For
and you could always update it all the time. Like, you know,
maybe there will be an update, 2003 to 2013. It should be like every 10 years.
Yeah, the Sean Darce them skate in there.
Ooh. Everyone check that out. That one's available at Oak City.
That's $10.
Yeah, $10.
That's a little that you buy that $10. Stuff it in a stocking. You know, I don't know.
Perfect.
You know,
if people do stockings.
If you do stockings.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I also wanted to shout out King Souls. Andrew wasn't here before. I don't know if he was in the chat when we first started. He was in there. But if anyone doesn't know, Andrew Kingery, I think is his name. I met him at
best with last names.
Yeah, I met him at Woodward. Andrew K.
Let's just do that.
Yeah, we'll just do that for now on. He if anyone doesn't know, follow him on Instagram or Facebook. Mm-hmm. He does like custom made UHMW sole plates that are like handcrafted in his garage. Wow. He makes them for all types of skates. They're, like I said, they're custom made to order. So like if you have like a them skate, like a V13 skate, he does them for like USDs and razors and stuff like that too. I was lucky enough he gave me a pair at Woodward, and I've been riding them ever since on my them skates. And you know they're
probably
super
good
sick.
For some set sliding.
They're really fast. They're strong as hell. You know, if you're looking to update your skates or whatever it is, check them out. And I always appreciate like handmade stuff too.
Yeah.
So he makes them in his like garage or his basement or something like that.
Cool.
And if you look at his like Facebook page, he legit has like blocks of wood of UHMW with like labels on them for orders coming in.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So if anyone where's mine?
And you gotta support something that's just like grassroots, no matter what.
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
It's sick, and you can put on any skate.
This is craftsmanship. Like he's building it from his garage.
This is like
you gotta support those kind of businesses.
Legit as hell. And this is a skate. I was putting my skates together and didn't finish it, so that's why it's like half a skate. Yeah. But yeah, nice UHMW right there. You could like get any kind of groove, any kind of sole plate that you want or whatever it is on it. And if you're interested, they're not like skate shops or anything, so just hit him up on Instagram or Facebook or something like that. Send him a message and tell him we sent you. No, I don't know.
Tell him Jump Street sent you.
But all that's linked down below. And we still have more products to get to, but we're going to jump right back into the clips.
So we had, I guess you could say technically our second international guest. Mm-hmm. But he's he's in Canada, so it's like kind of like, not really like he's not overseas or anything like that.
Yeah, so across the border.
It's whatever. but ultimately, Leon's the man. He had contributed so much to skating and like kind of taken the less taken path and created his own. He created his own path and had huge impact on skating and was really well received by a lot of people in our community.
Yeah, very very unique guy and his everything from who he is to his ideology to what he's doing in skating, and just all that was so intriguing, and I was super excited for that one.
I also just want to thank him, by the way, because he did leave a pair of Wizard skates for me and boots.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah, that they're Saba boots, and I haven't got to try them yet because now it's so damn cold, and I just got them from a Torres a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I look forward to using that. I just want to say thanks to Leon for that, because not only was he a really cool guest, a really cool guy, but that he did that, and
So this is a little conversation that we had, kind of talking about his style of skating, like how you would explain it to somebody and how it compares to what we've all been doing for the past 20 whatever years.
Yeah.
Well, in the big wheels too, it was more aggressive, and I think over time I constantly struggling with, okay, the frames are not designed for this.
Mm-hmm.
The frames are actually designed for the average Joe. So what do? Just make kind of boring skate edits of someone cruising along the water.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Mike has been kind of like a huge help, or the people around me slowly guiding me into finding how to promote this product, but it's constantly going from aggressive and departing from aggressive into this less categorized.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. It seems from what I'm gathering that it wasn't intentional, but it seems like you've inadvertently created this new thing that you and Mike are doing, because it makes things. It's certain ways you can control the skates. You can't do them on aggressive. You can only do it on those. When I was showing my girlfriend the intro, the little promo that we have on the jump street, and you're running up the rail, she was like, "Whoa!" It's a complete. It seems like aggressive in other skates, but a new category of aggressive.
That's what I'm saying. It's
it's not rec.
Yeah. If you showed a rec player something that
rec is just.
If it showed him your SSM section and it showed one of your sections, is it really categorized as the same thing? Would they notice it that way?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. Yeah, it's too.
I think they would still see it as extreme.
I agree.
Just because you're not just skating normally, you're actually doing something. You're this jumping involved. Maybe that's why it would do that. But it's kind of I wouldn't even call it a subcategory of what we do. It's just its own thing, kind of, right? So that was interesting to talk about with Leon.
Yeah,
and very interesting guy. His skating is crazy. If you haven't checked it out. He has tons of edits on YouTube. I said, his Big Wheels 2 section was one of my favorite sections of all time.
It's so good.
Yeah, so sick.
Yeah, he really made his own thing there. Really smart, introspective man.
So sick. And I think we were looking it up before, not on YouTube, but I think on iTunes, it's our most viewed episode, so our most listened episode so far, which is really interesting. It's cool to see that is up there,
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Really sick. Check that out if you haven't already. That is episode 11.
Yes.
With Leon Bassin.
And then we move on to OG Ryan Jackalone. That was
probably our most requested guest.
He was such a heavily requested guest.
Yeah,
we got him on.
We didn't think we were gonna get him on. We got him on.
We got him on.
He had to watch an episode or two and be like, "All right, I'll do it."
Yeah, we had to loosen him up. Yeah, we had to kind of. But so it was great having on Ryan, and
tons of history,
dude. So he, invented the Misty Flip, and just
he was there since the beginning in New York, pretty much.
Since the beginning. And he, like I said, he was doing grinding before other OGs knew what grinding was, kind of thing. So yeah, he goes into some stuff, but he talks about the first NIS, the very first NIS at 96.
Yeah. Am I right by saying?
Dude, the first NIS is incredible.
So why was it so much fun? What about it?
Well, it's just all these people that had no idea that other people were as into it. You know what I mean? You showed up. It was like going to the dog park. And you let your dog loose, and it's holy shit, a bunch of other dogs.
Yeah.
Everybody's just going for it.
So it was one of the first times that you guys all experienced that?
Pretty much, and then you had to push yourself, that you saw that you weren't just the big fish in the small pond anymore. Yeah. There was a lot of big fish everywhere. You had to go for it.
You went in, right?
I always went in.
Always.
For New York.
Yeah. For fucking New York, dude. You
it's FR versus Senate, man. You gotta go in.
It was crazy. So I don't even know if we had for the first NIS, I don't even think I actually had FR wheels on yet. They literally showed up for the second NIS contest. I don't know what wheels I was using.
Yeah.
But was still
super
claiming
early.
FR.
Super early though.
Yeah.
the heats or the lines were like way longer back then, right? Weren't they like minute and a half or some shit like that?
It was 90 seconds.
That's crazy. 90 seconds on a course where there's like 100
just
feet.
by yourself.
Yeah, 100 feet between ramps, and like you have ABEC 1 bearings, and it's hard enough doing like
no
a 45
shade.
second. Yeah, no shade. Like 45-second lines are tough, let alone
in Jenkos.
In Jenko, yeah, dragging all that denim around.
Mind that whole
dude,
thing.
lots of back wheel faking.
Yeah,
dude,
don't land fake.
I'm telling you.
Especially down like a 6-foot ramp or something, doing a 720.
Someone went ahead and printed something like, "Hey, make sure the back of your pants are cut short enough."
Everyone just had their passing duct tape around.
Yeah, that's what I say. The duct tape in the back. That's what it was.
This guy's duct tape them just for the comp. You can take it off.
You would have to bring duct tape for your pants.
That's hilarious.
It was sick.
Wheel bite everywhere.
Dude, you could win a jet ski.
Yeah, huh? They had like actual like real sponsors back in the day, right?
So like, what were you gonna do when you won the jet ski?
Yeah, you won the jet ski. Yeah, take it over the 16th and 3rd.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Take it on the train.
You have to pay taxes on it.
That's
and
hilarious.
Then you have this jet ski on a trailer. And you're like, what do I do with this?
Right.
It's funny how like you look back on certain things like that and you realize how funny they were.
Yeah.
When you're a kid, you're like, "Oh, I can win a jet ski," and then like now you look back like, what were they gonna do with a jet ski?
Yeah, you can win a jet ski. What are you gonna do with it?
The back wheel bite conversation was so funny too, with the Jenkos.
Totally.
I completely forgot about all of that until you mentioned it.
God.
Just landing faking, getting stuck on the pants.
The feeling that is synonymous with that thing happening is just so much frustration. I just remember like landing crazy tricks and like hitting that and falling back and be like, no! Like, man, that like
it would have been perfect. If it wasn't
hearing about that makes me stressed out today because it just like has an association in my mind. Like
the bearing in your fourth wheel was just full of like denim threads.
Just pull it out. Oh my god,
so funny.
What a nightmare. Also, shout out Altitude Lou.
Every shout out Altitude Lou.
We gotta shout out Altitude Lou.
We'll get him on the show soon when we figure out who the hell he is.
We got to.
We should just like, if we do find out who he is, just be like, come with us. We have like something to do, and just put him on the mic and just be like, he's like, what's going on right now? Like,
I think we should just. I don't even know if I want to find out who it is. I just want to build the legend a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'd like to discover who he is like somewhere like season 3.
I hope he's like
season 4, and then we get him on season 5. We're like, oh, it's like this thing that builds.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Altitude Lou.
I'm a bit.
Shout out Altitude Lou.
Yeah, I'm a bit dramatic. I like dramatic things. Okay, so moving on to episode 13 with Dafik.
The homie.
That was a really good episode.
Yeah.
That
was a good talk.
Yeah, he's easy to talk to, and he's anyone who knows.
Yeah,
Chris
it's our homie forever too.
Knows he's
skating
a really cool
in the East Coast.
Yeah. You've been skating with Chris way longer than I have. You introduced me to the Jersey crew.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, started with like Sean Money and then Jay and JG,
Jay
right?
Contrell, yeah.
And then I met Dafik later on, and Stokely and all those guys.
Yeah.
So anyone that knows Chris knows that he
all over the place.
All over the place, just lives to travel, and he's gone around the world like crazy the past like 3 or 4, maybe 5. I don't know. He's been going around for a few years now. Yeah. My perception of time is completely screwed up. Yeah, but so he talks about traveling around Europe and skating like in the summertime and how cool that is.
Yep.
I always like going to Spain for skating. Europe in the summer is like the absolute sickest. Mm-hmm. There's so many people doing different things and so many people with different trips and different contests, like connecting them all. So you kind of see everyone, and everyone kind of goes off and does their own thing, and then everyone like meets back together and talks about their travels. And then you get more ideas on places to go or what to do next year. Having like Roskilde and stuff like that was always like a real blessing to have. Everyone come. Yeah, it was like so nice, and so many people would kind of just plan their summers around that, And it was really, really awesome. So definitely for skating, I would say like Europe in the summer is like the sickest.
Totally.
But I don't know. I've been to like Thailand is absolutely amazing. I've been like a couple places there. We went to India, which is really amazing but very intense.
Yeah.
That's what I heard about India too.
I love Mexico is like one of my favorite places actually. Just like the food's amazing. It's really cheap, and it's just like people are really cool, and it's really, really nice.
Yeah.
I heard India's like the cheapest place.
India's super cheap.
Yeah,
it's like insanely cheap. You could literally rent a motorcycle for a day for $1.75.
Yeah, that's super cheap.
That's insane.
That's sick.
I thought Thailand was cheap. Those things are like $6 a day.
Yeah, India. Yeah, Thailand's super cheap too. But India's like super. It's like $1.50 for like an awesome plate of food. And
it's sick.
Yeah, it was really cool. It's very intense though. There's like it's like so much going on, and people are constantly just like, hey, come with me, I'll show you all this cool stuff. And
I'm sure if they see that you're American, they're like, oh, this guy's got a few bucks.
Yeah. They're some of them are shysters. They figure out crazy stuff. Like they found out my wife was like they could tell she's like Latina, so they're like, oh, I have this note, it's written in Spanish, can you read it to me? But it's just like a note someone wrote for them, and it just like says how awesome they are. So you're like, oh wow, this person's great because this note says it, but it's just like a fake note. And then like you gain like this kind of thing of trust with them, but it's all like not real.
Damn.
And then they're like, weird. Then they try to get, it's like super, it's like really
a lot of scams out there.
Oh yeah. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
dude,
it's like you really have to be on your toes.
Yeah.
It's really eye opening when you leave the States and get into an environment like that. You're like, whoa, this is That's amazing though. He's so true. Like during that. I mean, I've never been to India, but during those travels are around the summertime, just seeing everyone is really, really cool.
I haven't experienced that yet. I haven't skated in Europe in a long time, actually. I'm trying to think of the last time I actually skated in Europe, because the last few times I went, it was just like leisure.
Well, you're about to, baby.
Yeah.
This February.
How does February sound? You're going to Winterclash.
How does February Netherlands sound? You ready to rip?
That sounds good. I think I'll have that.
That's awesome.
And when we had Jacqueline on episode 13, of course, we had to have Dave Ortega on.
We were gonna have him on together, and maybe we actually will in the future,
maybe one day,
to see if we can get a different kind of energy. But we decided to keep them separate because Dave's such a legend, and New York
they're different
City
people.
Guy.
We think they deserve to
different
have
guys.
their own things,
Yeah, so it was cool. So cut to Dave's Williamsburg Dave.
Williamsburg Dave. This is he like the day of the show. I was like, yo, if you have any like memorabilia, nostalgia shit, like bring it over. He's like, I don't think I have anything. He shows up with like a big ass IKEA bag, full of shit. He had like all this stuff from his basement, and it was cool getting to like go over all the shit that he had, which was like all the custom K2 skates and stuff like that. So this is us checking out all his gear.
This is
Stop Point,
and then
what does it say on here?
By the way, look at the H.
You want to fight?
Yeah, that was.
Why was this? Why did it say that?
I don't know, something I just always used to say.
That's so sick that they used to put like whatever on the tongue. Like just to have a tongue that like on your skate that says whatever you want it to say.
I said Deadly Blaze and they put Deadly Blades.
That's sick.
So it was just fun because,
little
they were
double
basically
entendre.
singers, so they would do whatever.
Damn, look at that groove.
Look at this sticker, bro. Grand Theft Auto.
What?
The first
it was Grand Theft Auto out then?
That's the first one, huh?
That's the first one.
Man, if that sticker was fresh, I'd be probably able to sell that.
Damn, you guys can't. I don't know if you can see this on camera. The groove in this thing is gnarly.
Is it?
I don't know what you were skating on this.
That's actually pretty tough to do for a K2.
That's what I'm saying. I've never seen a K2 groove that deep.
When we were testing like new plastic shit.
So you rode the backslide plate. Jacqueline said he didn't ride the backslide plate ever.
Yeah, he took his out. Grind plate.
I always thought that was weird because like the way like you're grinding here, you would be all on the fabric of it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I don't know how he didn't.
I mean, well, this was like some Kevlar shit, like so that like lasted pretty long.
Whatever that is.
Some Kevlar.
Look at that.
Yeah, you see that?
Oh yeah. What'd you do here? You did this or they did that?
I cut them. We used to customize our shit all the time. We'd like cut some shit here and shave some shit down there. Like on one of them, I
shows in front of the camera.
You see, like these. Like remember how they had this little thing here? I would shave them down.
Oh, why'd you do that?
Rebel tool, yeah.
Why'd you do that?
Sick.
Bigger soul space?
Yeah, just bigger soul space.
That's a lot of work to do that.
Yeah, and then this one, he would take this one out because he just like slid this one like slower and whatnot.
That's weird. I always thought that was. I mean, not always, but like since he said I always thought that was weird.
That was cool going through all that stuff.
Yeah, seeing
he had so many old relics.
It was so sick how they used to customize all the K2s and stuff like that back then. I was said custom things. Just even the custom.
Do you want to fight? That's sick.
Just even the custom tags on like the tongue alone is just really sick. It's like what do you call it? Like embroidered in there.
Mm-hmm.
Really sick stuff. And
Deadly Blades, dude. That's sick.
So sick.
It's some hesh stuff.
And I wish there's a way to do that nowadays. I can't even, unless you're like I don't know. What do you call these people with the thread and needle?
Embroidery store.
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess we have to wait for that. Them skates soft boot.
Yeah. Speaking of them skates.
Oh, Gav Drum was on episode 15.
Episode 15, we had Gav from down under.
Good day, Gav. I hope
Gav, if you're still in watching,
accent. No one judge me for that. Even though
we love Gav though. Gav is always great to be around.
Yeah, it's crazy. He like talks about he has like really good memories of his early days skating. Like, and he actually remembers his first street session that he's ever had.
Yeah, impossible for anyone else to.
I don't.
Yeah,
I remember my first time skating a park, but not my first street session. But
I don't remember either, actually.
Wow,
bad memory.
Bad memory.
No, let's see what Gav has to say about that.
Okay.
Wait, so let me hear about your first street session ever.
Because that's crazy that you could recall your first street section.
Yeah.
Session.
So we rolled maybe 5-minute skate from the skate park to a church.
He like lured you over. He was like, "Let's get street."
Well, we all meet there, and then it was like, "Let's go somewhere else." Yeah. It was like, I think I first heard of a half pipe, and then I heard about 2 of them joined together like a spine ramp, and was like, "What?" And then I heard about a bowl, and pictured it as like a half pipe in 3D sort of situation, and then I heard about a skate park, and then eventually they were like street skating, and it's just like,
and you're like, what?
Like everything.
Yeah. What did you skate? A rail?
So we skated this 5-stair at a church, and then directly across the road was a primary school, and that had a 6-stair handrail, which we just like gap and
kick.
Like imagine, you know, and then like try and be like, I think I locked that one, you know, and just fly by. And then there was a 9-stair at the school across the road in the other direction.
Your first street session was 3 down rails.
Yeah, that I like just looked at, you know. And
you didn't hit them?
Yeah, I just looked at them on the first one. Then I did the 5-stair on the first session, and then I was like, you know, the next one was like, all right, this time I'm going to do the 6-stair or the 7. Yeah. And then eventually we'll get to the 9-stair.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Those days were the best. Like
building it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But before that, I actually borrowed a friend's Bing Airs, the yellow K2s, and front-sided a little 10-stair handrail at the skate park. That was around the same time, but just before. But
was that your first trick on a down rail, the front side?
Yeah, but it was in a skate park, so I...
okay, yeah. I like how if people were to skate nowadays, it's so easy to be like, oh, that was my first street session, because everyone like films on like a phone or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But that'd be cool to have like
it's all
a
documented
picture or something like that of like when we started or when he started back in the day.
I'm actually happy that like I had a lot of embarrassing things in my childhood, like you know that
just in general or in skating.
No, just in general.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know, like for example, like, you know, nowadays since everything's filmed, like if some kid gets knocked out, like it's on World Star the next day.
Just picture how schools are.
Fortunately, like those, you know, I never got knocked out, but I've certainly had my, you know, fights. I've won some and I've lost some, let's say. And I'm very fortunate that none of my incidents ever came up on World Star.
Yeah, just like picture like how schools are these days, because there was a fight in school like every other day, like a big fight in school, and now like you were just cheering them on or like throwing like French fries at them or something like that. But now it's all
like,
yeah. Now everybody has like the phone.
Now it's just like,
that was sick back in the day. I don't know how it was outside of New York, but like when a fight happened in the hallway, like teachers trying to break through the crowd.
Celebration. It was a little break from the day-to-day monotonous.
Teachers were like trying to break through the crowd of kids to break it up, and like
no, let him fight, let him fight, let him go.
And there's a bunch of 10-year-olds like slapping each other in the head. Good times.
Oh my God. Good times. Anyways, going back to Gav, we kind of got lost on a tangent there, but he goes on about the Burma trip, which is the video Dom West did.
Yeah, I was very interested to hear what he had to say about that, and
some groundbreaking stuff.
Yeah, let's go check that out real quick.
Check that out.
It was just so amazing to see how much these kids valued rollerblading. Like, it just kind of helped. Like, I spent that was the end of about 8 months of traveling around, and going to occasional skating things. And then I got to that and was like, I don't know, the way they worked together as a group, they would like roll up and help and like send people down a handrail.
Yeah,
like,
I saw that.
You know, like hold their hand and like put them up and send them off.
Yeah,
like someone doing like what is it, curling or something? They just lawn balls. Yeah,
that's funny.
It's so crazy, and their connection with each other. It's just just their environment and stuff. I remember this one time, Matthew Heinemann was skating. He was about to do a tree stall at a skate park, and he tried it, and everyone just was like, whoa, freaked out actually, and I just had no idea why. And then eventually our friend was like the spirits are in the trees, and this is the tree in the center of the skate park, which is the place everyone goes to do this. Like, leave the tree alone, you know. And I was like, whoa.
Wow.
Okay. Like,
I wouldn't even think about something like that.
Yeah.
I wish I could have been on that trip to skate in Burma.
Man, it looked amazing. I think they picked the right guys to do it.
Yeah, and no matter how many times I say it on this show, if you haven't seen it yet, go check out Blading Burma by Dom West.
You gotta check it out. It's amazing.
So good.
Just the vibe, the production quality, and like everything
about it.
It's actually like it's a blade video with like
It's like a documentary.
Good intention.
Yeah, it's like a documentary. It's informative.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of, no matter how long you've been skating for, you'll learn something from that video. 100% guaranteed. So sick.
Totally.
So sick. And we wrapped up our season with...
Yeah, our last one.
Yeah, with a Jordan Baez, our buddy.
Of Ghetto Community.
And Jordan's done a lot of things for New York, the New York skate scene, just over the past few years.
12th and D Classic for years.
Yeah, just a lot of organization and events.
Ton of pop-up contests over the years. Yeah. Like, you know, and just like...
Gathering a lot of people together.
Always organizing a scene, and, you know, he's helped create this Bashi Pope fundraiser that we're doing on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
You know, so again, he's just always active in the scene. He's always like... He's got 1,000 things on his plate. You know, he's got a son, he's got a daughter, he's got his girl, and... you know, he does his bike ride and things. He does his you know, goes to the gym, all this other stuff. But he still like makes time to like throw these contests, and throw these events. But also, he's a crazy guy.
Yeah,
and we love him to death. But he's got a crazy story from when he was filming his piece with Butter TV. That is just hilarious. So
yeah, check this out. This is a really funny story.
Yeah,
we was filming that whatever, and I was Willie and whatever. We coming off the Willie B. I don't know if you know when you enter the BQE going, I don't know what direction that is. I'm not too familiar with Queens, but there's a turn. So I'm willing.
So you're going from Manhattan into Queens over the Williamsburg Bridge.
Yeah. So they following, recording me is JP, Justin Braskow, Tad, Laboza.
I know the story too.
And Ryan
I never heard your side of the story. I want to hear your side of the story. I heard their side.
So boom, whatever. You know, I'm Willie and I'm getting and I'm filming me and shit. Eventually, we was about to part ways. It sucks, man. It always be like that whenever it's that last thing. That's always happened to me in skating. I always got hurt because of the last thing. So there was a cop, but I didn't even recognize him because I'm so busy in my zone. Like, I don't care about a cop. Like, you ain't gonna catch me anyway. So I'm in my zone, whatever. I put the bike down, but then I pick it back up and shit. But I fall like on some clumsy shit. Yeah. I fall, but the bike kept going. So I get up, I jump on back of JP car. I'm like, drive. So they trying to drive, but then the cop cut him off.
Wait, this is on the bridge or on the BQE?
On BQE.
Okay.
Cop cut him off. So the cop cut him off, and I just jump off the bike. I'm in the back of the trunk, whatever, and I see the bike because the bike was just ghost riding.
Yeah,
just kept going straight, and then it fell. So I went to the bike, but the bike is in fourth gear. I don't know if people familiar with motorcycles, but it's manual. So when you're in such a high gear, you can't take off like at a standstill. Imagine trying to take off fourth gear in a car.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you can't do it.
So I grab the bike, I pick it up, cop come. He had more of the bike, so we playing tug of war with the bike. Yeah, so I'm like, fuck, I ain't winning this. You keep it. I might get locked up after this shit. Fuck, I'm gonna get myself indicted. So I'm like, you keep this shit.
Gave him the bike.
So he fall with the bike. Now I'm running. I'm like, fuck that.
On the BQE.
On the BQE. I'm running. I'm looking, see where I could jump. Eventually, there's like some grass hill. So I'm like, oh shit. I seen a cop car coming. I just jumped in it. There was a cab, luckily, right there. I jumped in the cab. I told the cab, I told him, I was like, yo, I'll give you $100 if you get near my bike. He tried, but the cop was like covering my bike so that way nobody was getting near it. So I'm like, oh, man, it's quiet. My baby, man. He got her.
But you got out.
I'm out of there, bro. I'm out of there.
So you
had to let it go.
You took it out on the bike.
So then, yo, these dudes are scared out their mind. They thinking like, oh, we gonna get locked up.
Who, like JP?
JP, all of them.
Yeah, because now
I call them.
You now made them accomplices.
Yeah, he jumped on that car.
Yo, I call them. I'm like, yeah.
Yo, Jordan is fucking crazy.
Yeah, dude, Jordan's a real one, man.
That story was so funny, and I'm glad I heard it from his mouth because I heard it from other people's mouths, and just hearing it from him just like was the icing on the cake.
There was a point. Like his name, I don't know if it's still, no, it's Trap God Dro, but it was like Turn It Up Dro, like where his whole thing was about turning the bike up and being on one wheel, and then so like every clip on his Instagram was just like him like doing wheelies down like Houston Street over like the Williamsburg Bridge, like bang, all this crazy stuff, and then there was just one clip of him like on a city bike, you know those ones you rent out of New York, and he's just doing a wheelie with that, and then it's like the comment under it was, everything must go up. So like his whole thing was about like
really everything.
Everything must go
just
up.
Wheelie everything.
Yeah. City bike up.
We gotta give him a unicycle. See if he can wheelie up. The unicycle.
He probably could. If
Somehow.
anyone can, it's him.
We'll manage it. You want to go into the toe slide challenge thing?
We had a contest, and it was Ryan Jackalone was here on our episode, on the Ryan Jackalone episode 12. He was like, hey, you know what? I like used to love seeing toe slides like on vert, you know, like the two toes like slide across.
The impossible tricks.
The impossible tricks. I guess that's just called the toe slide. I'm not sure the name for it. But so he said he has a pair of fresh. Is it 8 or 4?
He said 8.
8, because he got to ride flat.
Yeah.
Right? And it's Ryan Jackalone FR wheels.
Yeah, he said 59.
59, which is like, they don't make them anymore. They're
they haven't made them in 25 years.
You could probably not skate those and like put them on eBay and sell them for like a good amount of money.
Yeah.
Because
I wouldn't skate them if I got them.
I wouldn't skate if I got them either. No. But you know what? Someone got them. Mm-hmm. We had 3. I'm surprised we only had 3.
We extended it too because
we did extend it.
We wanted more entries to come in.
We did.
And people delivered. We have 3 entries.
We got 3. You know, I'm surprised we only got 3 because of what was at stake. These like priceless wheels, but also like I'm not doing that.
No, I'm not
so
doing
like,
it.
damn, 3 is a lot if you think about it.
That's what I was saying.
It's all perspective. Yeah,
like only 3, but then again, like damn, 3 people went out there and did it.
Yeah, and you know, so that being said, I was not the judge. You were not the judge. Ryan was the one. He's like, I'm throwing the wheels, and I get to judge who's doing it.
And shout out to the 3 contestants are Harith Hassan, Shredpool got one, and Gav Drum.
And Gav Drum
got one.
And I know there were things that, you know, there was a little dispute over some things, but it's up to Ryan. He said he wanted to see a toe slide, and the person who he chose to win out of all 3 of those was Gav Drum.
Yeah.
So Gav Drum,
give it up to Gav.
If you're still with us, Gav, we're gonna. You know what? I still got your knee brace too. It's at my house. So I'm gonna have to get those wheels and ship that out to you with your knee brace. So I already have your address, so I'll shoot that out to you soon, dude. Congrats. And
Gav said Edwards called it a Melvin.
A Melvin?
The toe slide and a camel toe.
Dude, Gav's like Miguel in his like blade knowledge.
He probably read that from Daily Bread issue number 3.
Dude, he's got the discography of magazines.
Yeah, he said he had all the Daily Bread issues, all of them, and read like the first 10 front to back.
I haven't seen the first 10. I don't even think.
I don't know if I had either.
Yeah, I think like one of the first. Yeah, dude, it's one of the first ones I saw had Champion on the cover or something like that.
Champion, really? Champion?
No, out of Michigan, Minnesota, but that was one of the first ones. But that was like
yeah. I had my first issue of Daily Bread too. The one that I had, I forget who was on the cover. It was somebody doing like a parallel forward mute over. Do you remember in like, I don't know if it was like Venice or Huntington, like right in the beach, there was like down ledge on the left side, drop down ledge. It was like a mute air over that. I forget who it was.
I think I remember that too. I don't remember who that was.
Yeah, that was my first issue. But yeah, so shout out Gav Drum.
Shout out Gav. Congrats, man.
He said send that knee brace back.
Yeah, I got you, dude. Sorry about that.
So I'm gonna go on to the rest of our products for the holiday.
Yeah.
We have this next one. This a lot of people might be interested in. On the outside, it looks like a normal foam roller, which I recently just got this, and I love this, so I figured I'd shout this out. It's a foam roller, which is like, you know, it's small, it's super light and portable, but I don't know if you can see on camera. I'm going to put a photo up real quick.
That's really small.
It's small, so it's like good for traveling, and you can use that different part. It's super light, too, so I just went to Florida, and I put it in my luggage, and it was like no problem at all. And it's beveled in the middle, so your spine goes right in the middle, and it doesn't, you could roll right down the middle of your back, and it doesn't hurt your spine at all, which is like not where you're obviously not supposed to like roll your spine.
Yeah.
So it's beveled right in the middle, so it just perfectly goes around your spine. And I got to use it the past like 2 weeks or something like that I had it.
Bevel.
And it's thing is sick. It comes in different sizes too. I have like the picture up here, and these things range from $39 to $59. And like I said, I have all the links. We have all the links down below if you're interested.
That one looks like a
them.
Michelin tire.
They all look like tires, yeah. Yeah, they're super, super sick. I've had a bunch of foam rollers over the years. I've had one that oh, speaking of foam rollers, we had from episode
John Julio.
3?
Yeah. Shout out John Julio.
Not for sale, but we have the Jump Street foam roller, courtesy. Well, I'm not even.
Did he have the sticker on, or did you put it on?
He put it on. That was how he gave it to us.
The man.
Yeah. So we got the Jump Street foam roller, courtesy of John Julio. Not for sale.
No.
So that stays there in pristine condition.
Yes.
All right, and one more.
What else
I don't have here, but I just thought it was really sick because no one's ever really had anything like this before. But the Vibrolux Create Originals collab with the natural colored frames because I don't think
Creative Originals has been collabing left and right.
Yeah. I don't think anyone has made a natural colored frame, and they collab with Vibrolux, and it's a sick color. It's not, if you could tell from the photo, it's not a white. It's like an off-white color. So it looks really sick on an all-black skate, but it'll look good on any skate.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was unique. It was one of a kind kind of thing. And if you haven't checked it out already, they're still available. Also limited numbers on the Vibrolux website. So that's also linked down below.
That could be some good last minute gifts, or you know what? Even after Christmas, if you got a little extra bucks and you actually want to spend some money on yourself because you spend so much on your nieces and
everyone
nephews
else,
and your cousins and stuff like that.
Buy something for yourself. You deserve something.
Go treat yourself, man.
Treat yourself.
Yeah, treat yourself.
All right. Yeah, that was our wrap up from season 1.
That's everything.
That's everything.
Wow.
We had a lot of good moments in the season. A lot of epic guests.
Yeah.
And we want to thank everyone for joining us on this ride with us.
Yeah.
And see how we started from nothing, and we're here now. We're not at the top yet. We're just a little higher, but we're working our way up there.
Yeah.
And it's good that we have all you guys, with us to join us on the ride.
Yeah, we we appreciate the support. We've kind of jumped into this thing head first.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're here, episode 17, season 1 finished. Yeah. And having plans for season 2 and starting to actually put some more thought into this stuff like that. So everyone who ever donated to our Patreon, every sponsor that we ever had,
huge thanks.
Just a tremendous thank you.
No one gets overlooked. We appreciate it all.
Yeah.
Wombat 5136. We got Troy Hanner, Prev Bean. Thank you guys all so much for watching us.
Spread love.
Francis Ali. Thank you everybody for watching us. We will see you all in season 2. Cheers, Bill.
Much love.
Have a good night, everyone.